never added me.
Mm,
No, you have no, dude. You
no,
did not.
he's not in there.
I'm not in
Well, hold
there.
on. Let me. No.
I didn't leave.
What? What? Who the hell is Gaming Forte? Is that our boy? Oh no, this is from somebody that's from Brap
Yo,
podcast.
what?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yo, what is
Okay.
going
I was
on?
like, yeah, no, he's in there.
Yo, what is
Okay.
going on, everybody? We are live with another episode of the next podcast. Huge shout out to the chat. I don't know why K Mega's talking about Forte or what's going on over there.
Because I was looking for Otter, because Otter isn't in there, and I was
but
like,
Forte is?
Yeah, but Forte's in there.
Oh man, he was supposed to come on the show, but something happened at one point in time.
Oh.
I just left him in the DM. Yes, this is the DM Battle podcast where we're arguing over who's in the DM and who isn't. Guys, we got an exciting show, planned for you guys. We got some hot topics to talk about. But first, I gotta ask you guys to do one favor for me because YouTube does not like to do its job. Go ahead and share this podcast wherever you talk games, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, wherever you go to talk games. Let people know that we are live talking about the latest gaming news, and we got another family member back for tonight's show. It's going to be a great show, and I got to get into the intro. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the family member who is back. He is known for saving the world so many times that I can't even count because I don't have enough fingers and toes on this body to say how many times he has saved the world. You might know him as the Angry Otter, but we know him as Dark Knoxximus. Dark, that's you. Dark.
Hey, happy to be here, man.
Dark, are you there?
Did you not hear me? Can you not hear me?
I can hear you now.
Had a fish in your mouth or something.
Yeah, I'm here. That was weird. I said what's up, but okay. Anyways.
All right. Well, everybody in the chat, he did say hi, I guess.
Here.
Dude,
Yeah.
we're dealing with the old school Dark with kind of like in and out of the mic audio situation.
You know how the California internet, man, just sucks.
No, we don't.
No.
Well, I don't know. You don't live here, so.
Well,
That's
brother,
why I don't know.
Brother, I will say it is good to have you on tonight. I know you won't be afraid to share your opinions. You won't be afraid to go after, certain people on the panel if they get out of hand. So I think it's going to be a great show tonight, and I am looking forward to hear what. Since Crispy, aka Satan, is not drunk tonight, it should be a good show. I wouldn't call him Satan. We'll give him the title before Satan. We can call him Lucifer for now.
I remember hearing his voice one time, and I was just like, "Oh my God, Satan!"
Yeah.
And I was just like,
You're making an assumption that he's not drunk.
I'm on your shoulder right now. I'm saying hi, Dark. How are you?
Oh goodness. All right. Well, guys. On that note, let me go to the next person to introduce. You guys know him as a die-hard Gears fan, but I'm here to let you know he does play other games. My brother, Crispy.
What's up? Yes, I am not intoxicated tonight, so let's do this. Let's, slap some greatness all over this place. Yeah.
You should let him know. I drove up to your house. I threw you into the car, brought you to AA, and now we're good to go, man.
It was my birthday. Come on,
no,
people.
I'm just playing. Well, we do know you enjoyed yourself on your birthday, and that is a good thing right there.
Bit too much.
Yeah, you're right. A little too much. You got me. Just handcuff me now. Let's go.
No, man. For some reason, I don't trust you saying handcuffs. So I'm going to move on to the next person in line. Of course, he is a part of the starting lineup every Saturday here on Next Podcast, Predator.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy to be here. was podcast 2 for me this week. So let's get it in, man. I know we got some good topics, and I'm drinking, so it's all good.
Oh no.
I'll fill in for the drunk crispy for tonight.
I got you, brother. We were on the show last night together. Do you feel like you're gonna be cutting me off the way you did last night, man?
I couldn't cut you off because you wouldn't shut the fuck up last night.
Well,
So
there you go. There you go. But you tried.
I tried. So yes, I am going to do that tonight.
All right, cool. Next on the list, coming live from the 405, and you know he's just trying to talk to the intelligent gamer out there, my brother K Mega.
What up? What up? What up? I hope everybody's having a great start of the 2020 year, and hope they had great holidays. And man, ready to get started. You know what? I'm picturing something right now.
Oh no!
I need a drunk crispy, a drunk 100, and I need to find somebody else. And then
Knox.
I'm just gonna a drunk Knox. It might be good. And then
Knox drink.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah. And then in a drunk bloody. In a drunk bloody knuckles.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm just gonna set them in. I'm gonna just let it go. I'm just gonna say a topic. I'm gonna let these bastards roll. I think I might. You know what I'm saying? I might need to start that in 2020. Maybe just have just drunkest people. Just make sure they get sloshed. You know what I'm saying? And then just have conversations.
Brother,
just talk about any damn thing.
I think you're onto something, man. You just introduce them and then put the first topic out there and just back away.
Right, that's it because you don't know where it's going to go. So I think I need this to happen. So I mean,
I can guarantee at one point in time it will go to Gears. By the way, I'm just saying
it's going to go to Gears, Titanfall,
some anime.
It would be absolutely. Oh yeah, PlayStation is the best. It will be everything, and it'd be. Fuck ponies, fuck bots. It'd be the greatest shit ever, and I would definitely. I'll host that and just let it let it filter.
Mega,
1 good hour of that.
I will say you do have a history of I don't know. I guess you could say drunk reactions on a live show. So I don't know. I really don't know why you're cutting yourself out of there, man. When you can put yourself in there too and kick back a couple and get involved, man.
Yeah, but I mean, the only thing I say is that I'm saying about black love and the world is great. I'm a happy drunk, so I don't know. Well, I'll just fall asleep. One or the other. It's one or the other. So
nice.
I'm good. So yeah, I think I might
can
have
actually
to
vouch for that because I've been on GRG when he's drunk. So
yeah, dude, you were a witness.
You were a witness. Yeah, that was, and you know what? That was the last time that I got that lit. So I was like, okay, let me reel that in. So that was great.
All right, guys. Well, I think everybody in the chat, wants us to get going here with the topics, and I want to start light because I have a feeling, people are going to start, filling in over time. So we're going to start with a lighter topic. Just recently, I think it was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Rockstar and Xbox worked out a deal, and GTA 5 is now in Game Pass. I've seen quite a few reactions from this. Everything from "Oh my goodness, this is phenomenal, this is monumentous," to people saying, "Doesn't everybody already own GTA 5?" I'm gonna go to Dark on this one. Dark, what did you think when you saw the announcement that GTA 5 is now in Game Pass? And where do you put this in terms of important games in kind of like the Game Pass library, man?
Is it in Game Pass now? I'm just kidding.
Dude, you haven't been on Twitter, have you?
No, I've been on Twitter. No, I saw it. I was like, wow, that's actually really surprising. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was like, wow, that's huge. That's huge for Game Pass. That's huge for Microsoft. I mean, just to see that game going into Game Pass. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, we already everybody has that game already." But there are some people out there that haven't, played it yet. There's some, there's the casual people who haven't played it yet. So it's a big deal. to kind of scoop that up and put that in Game Pass.
I
I like
will.
to see what other games they put in there that are big like that. I don't know of any that are big in scale as that game is, but
That game is
maybe
the
You
game
can't
that
really
just
get,
Red
yeah,
Dead Redemption 2.
you can't get no bigger than that. I think that's the number
That
one
is
Sony
true,
game
yeah.
of all time. Yeah, so
Yeah, you really can't get bigger than that. So I mean, it's a huge deal for them.
All right, so I will say an example. One of my friends on Twitter goes by the tag Troy Bakers, and she just recently got an Xbox One. So I believe she had GTA 5 on her PS4, but I think it's good because she has Game Pass. So as soon as they announced it, on Game Pass, she immediately went and downloaded it on her one of her two systems that she has, because you guys know me, I consider the Switch a handheld over a console. So but she was really excited about that. I think it's big for people, especially people who because later on in the generation you get like crazy deals when it comes to consoles. A lot of people all of a sudden become multi-console owners, and
Then that usually happens towards the end of the console generation. A lot of times is where people just multi console owners, and they're just like, oh, because usually the consoles are on sale. Usually like Black Friday or even down around the holidays, where they're like, hey, we need I think I might pick up an Xbox because it's like $200 or sometimes even cheaper than that. So
Yeah.
that happens a lot.
Yeah, I do have to apologize for Lady Foxfire. I have to make a correction. The Nintendo Switch is the world's most powerful handheld. I am sorry, lady. Shout out to Lady Foxfire in the chat. Good to see you as always. Let's go to Mega here. Mega, what do you think about the announcement here? Is it a big deal? I'm gonna let you know. First off, I feel it's a big deal because it's a big name. It's a big name from the end of last generation going all the way through this generation, and I think it's good for marketing as well for Game Pass. But what do you think, brother?
yeah, no, I mean it is. I can't believe that there was some people that were actually trying to downplay this, is that, well, this game is that old and nobody cares anymore. I guarantee you, just like what you were saying about your friend who just now got it, and maybe they probably missed the sale where it was like $14.99. So they was like, oh, it's on Game Pass? That's even better for them. And that's also extra investment for them to not only play that game, download that game, but to try the other games that they have available. They also mentioned that these people that are invested in the Game Pass, they buy 40% more games due to Game Pass. So that should show you that that's success. And I think the more games that they add in there, the bigger the success will be, because I mean, there's certain games like After Party, for instance. I would have loved, I'm loving the fact that it's on there. I haven't got a chance to play it yet because I've been going through backlog, but just to know that it's there and available and I can play it anytime is great to me. If it wasn't available, it'd been like one of those things, well, I got to wait for a sale because that game is like it will probably most likely be $19.99, $14.99, something like that. And then I'm like, I could put that money to something else. So with having Game Pass, I could go ahead and just have that stored in there and just forget about it. And that's the same thing with the Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, for instance, okay, check this out. If let's say that you are one of the late adopters and you get the game and then you got it on Game Pass, what this does, it helps for them to sell their DLC. Because the first thing you'll do is like there'll be an add-on sale that'll pop up anywhere and they'll be like, oh man, I could just go ahead and just buy the DLC. So I already got this and I ain't got to worry about buying the game. And then I could just go in like that. And it's just so many. It's great. It's great. And again, like we were saying too, that it's the number one selling game of all time. It doesn't matter if it's old or not. It keeps on selling. It doesn't die. Well, it could be. I know it's in the top 3. Yeah, if you can't get no higher. So I mean, except for if Minecraft is number 1, it's got to be number 2 or number 3. That's it. So you know what? I think it's just a good strategy, and also that it was on PS Now, and for it to leave PS Now and to go to Microsoft. That's interesting to me as well. So would this mean that the rumors about Grand Theft Auto 6 being a PlayStation, third-party exclusive, like, or having some kind of the marketing rights, could that mean that things are swaying another direction because of Game Pass? I don't know. It sounds interesting to me. Well, I wasn't thinking of so much. That was my mistake by saying the exclusivity. I was talking about the third-party marketing deal, marketing rights. That's what I'm saying. So, like, because it was on PlayStation now, and then it's up and going. And I guess from my understanding, from what I was seeing, the PlayStation fans were saying it was gone, and so now it's on Game Pass. Wonder if there's something going on, just like it did with NBA 2K, because that was kind of quiet. It was, a marketing. PlayStation had the marketing rights to NBA 2K, and then all of a sudden, you've seen Xbox start showing stuff in advertising 2K. So we don't know what's the willings and dealings going on, but I tell you, that's a good sign right there for when you have one of the biggest games of all time. That's a part that could be the face. One of the games as a face for your service that you're trying to present to people. Oh, she's saying she can't hear me. Oh yeah, can the people out here hear me or? All right, let me.
I'm seeing no audio. We can't hear Xbot. Like I'm seeing. Yeah.
They're saying that, yeah, in the chat.
Okay, so now can Lady Foxfire?
Can you hear me? Can you hear Crispy? Can you hear Pred?
Oh, and it is impressive. I'm having a conversation with myself. Bot was not speaking one time, so I was just going away because I knew that we couldn't hear him. I'm just playing.
Everybody but Xbot and Optimus. Dark, say something.
Uh-oh.
Okay, they got Crispy and Pred. So they got.
Can they hear me?
Hello.
Okay.
Hi,
What up,
everybody.
man? Can you guys
Welcome
hear
to
me?
my channel.
Hi.
Welcome to my channel, everybody. Yeah, I screwed up a little bit. It's all good, guys. I have a new mic. Okay, that's what I'm gonna rest
can't
on.
keep using that excuse every week.
No,
Hey,
no,
I
this is the
got a
last
new
week.
mic too. I've been afraid to hook mine up, so I was just waiting. So I don't know. You know what? That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do this while we're on the show. We're doing it live.
Oh
no!
no!
We're doing it live.
Why are you using Next Podcast as the experiment, man? What's going on here, brother?
Because I can't do that with GRG. I've done that too many times, so I got to do it here.
Yo, shout out to O Snaps for hooking me up with the new HyperX Quadcast USB microphone. I absolutely love this thing. Hopefully you guys hear me loud and clear, because I know one of the complaints was it was really hard to hear me. I was really low on the show. So hopefully this fixes it. Let me know. Other things said stop using that PlayStation mic. Dude, the earbuds with the little mic on the wire. Yeah, no. I'm not doing that, brother. I'm not doing that. My bad, guys. Let's move on to my brother Pred here. Pred, I know you are a gamer. I know you love your games and stuff, but I also know that you look at the business side as well. So, from your standpoint, GTA 5 going into Game Pass, how big or small is that for you, brother?
I have two different options on this here, but I think it's a big get for them. I think the timing was just bad. You know, like because again, like we joke and we say everybody has this game, but I don't have it anymore. Like I got rid of that disc a long time ago, and I never finished the game because I knew I wasn't going to finish it. So I sold it back. It's one of the last physical games I purchased. I sold it back, and I mean, like now I'll fire it up just to kind of get back into it and play it. But like it's got a huge multiplayer component in it. But like if you're not playing it now already, you know, it's been in the top 10 NPDs for like the last fucking 20 years. So like, who doesn't own the game already? And I hear what some people are saying, like, you know, if you got the disc, now you don't have to get up and load it in. But the fact of the matter is it's in Game Pass, so it may not stay there forever anyway. So, I mean, I think it's a good get, but I look at some of the other titles they've gotten in there, like Witcher, Rage 2, some of the games that we didn't pick up.
Devil May Cry.
Play. Like Devil May Cry, exactly. Like I didn't pick up Devil May Cry or Rage 2. I wanted those games initially, but something changed my mind about buying them. And now I can play them in Game Pass. I think those are bigger gifts because they even Metro, like those games came into Game Pass like literally like what 3 months after they were released. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I think to me that's a bigger impact than putting a game like GTA 5, even though it's a huge seller, everybody plays it, everybody loves it, whatever. Putting it in there, like when did that game release? Like fucking 8 years ago. Like,
dude, it was the end of last generation is when it came out, man.
And so like we're getting that in there now. Like I think it would have been a bigger get had it just gone Games with Gold versus Game Pass, because Games with Gold means you will own it forever, whereas Game Pass they can pull it out whenever they feel like it. That's me. Like I don't have the digital game. Like now I have it. I can play it for however long it's going to be in there. But once it's gone, it's gone. And I'm about to spend 10, 15 bucks to get it again anyway. But I mean, again, I'm not knocking it for being there. I mean, it's great. They put it there. It's one of the biggest exclusives out there, biggest games out there. But it's just a little late. Like had they launched Game Pass with this game, I think that would have been a bigger eye opener. But I mean, it's GTA. Who hasn't played this game already? Like honestly, and it's funny because like when we were talking we're having this topic. You guys were talking earlier. I was like, let me go ahead and download it because I hadn't downloaded it yet. I saw Ori and Will of the Wisp in there, available to download, and I got super excited. Like maybe Microsoft fucked up. Now.
No, I saw that. I saw Bleeding Edge. I saw Grounded. Like available to like I guess to pre-install it or whatnot.
Yeah.
Dude, I was hyped.
I was hyped, dude. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I ain't gonna say shit. I ain't say nothing. Let me get in there, and then I tried to fire it up until it was too soon. So
Yo, they trolled you, brother.
Yeah, they did. They got me. Yeah, they got me on that one. So I mean, it's again, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a bad move. I mean, anything free in Game Pass, I'll say free, but anything coming to Game Pass to hype that up is always positive. I did have like a weird thought of like, ironically, it literally came out of PS Now, and it went straight into Game Pass. So I don't know if that was something that was worked before with PlayStation had a deal or what, but like it came out of PS Now and went right into Game Pass. So like the timing of that seemed a little weird to me. That's just, I don't know if there's something behind that or not, but I don't want to look too deep into that.
I was gonna say I wouldn't look too deep into that. I mean, the most I would look into that is Rockstar working out a deal with PlayStation at one point in time and seeing kind of like the attach rate and how many people download the game through PS Now, and now they might be doing their kind of like numbers crunch on what Game Pass would do for them as well. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the other crazy part about that. I didn't even know it was in PS Now until
dude, they hardly advertise PS Now like this entire generation, man.
I didn't know it was in PS Now until I saw it going to Game Pass, and so I think Crap mentioned it, to be honest with you, and I was like, oh really? And I looked it up, and sure as shit, it just came out, But the weird part of that too is like the same date that came out, so did God of War, so did I think what was that other game with the zombies they had?
Days Gone.
Days Gone. They all came out of PlayStation Now all on the same date. So
yeah, well, they got like, isn't Uncharted 4 going in and a couple others as well?
I didn't look that deep into it.
I think they are.
So, though.
I think they're rotating their quote unquote greatest hits lineup. They're rotating those in and out of PlayStation Now, like 3 months in, and then they take it out, and a new group goes in for 3 months as well. I think that is their plan right now when it comes to their exclusives in PlayStation Now. So, you guys know how I feel about that, though. Like I'm waiting for the day that they announce day and date. They're gonna have their first party in PlayStation Now. I think it's gonna happen. People tell me I am crazy, but I am sticking to my guns, man. Crispy, first off, I gotta ask, because I know you play more games than Gears. I know this. I saw your hype for Outer Worlds and stuff like that. I gotta ask, are you a GTA 5 fan?
You know what? Dark has called me a casual now because I have never played GTA 5.
Uh-oh.
How about them apples? How about that? See,
There's nothing wrong.
Everybody, yeah, okay. Well,
I'm married to a casual.
I got GTA out like 10 years ago. Just telling you. I played San Andreas until no end, and I saw GTA 5, and I'm like, well, what's more than San Andreas at that point in time? You know what I mean? So I never picked it up. So being on Game Pass, hell yeah. Like, smart move. I've seen a lot of people post that, who hasn't played GTA 5? And then there's like 30, 40 comments of people saying, I didn't play it. So the thing you have to realize is that there's an attach rate to this game. And maybe they pull it out in 3 months and then have, a bunch of people like clamoring to want it and buy the game, or they leave it in there and you have a subscription-based service with a bunch of microtransactions in that game, and they're still making a ton of money off of it. So,
Great point.
The fact is that if I get all of a sudden involved in the game and actually really like it, even though I've never played it, you got me, because maybe I will be like, I need this new sports car or something.
Crispy will be buying shark cards by the handful, man.
Well, you see it all the time in Fortnite. So, I mean, it's maybe not a true free to play, but for us Xbox gamers that have Game Pass, it feels free. So,
dude, I think Snap spent like $150 on shark cards just for GTA when she was playing that. So,
and that's the stuff that happens. People get carried away, and all of a sudden you go and look at your credit card or something. You're like, oh shit, what did I do? You know what I mean? So, that's where I say, Game Pass has a place for games, especially with, very, strong microtransaction base to it. They have a huge place, and any game that's, sold $60 or whatever might think about doing that, just because, we all ignore the fact, it was in PS Now, but guess what? Xbox has a higher attach rate to Xbox Game Pass than PS Now. So
are you sure about that?
What has changed?
No, but I'm just saying, I never saw numbers in terms of attach rate.
I saw
Pass,
under 10 million. Last time I saw it, under 10 million for PS Now attach rate to over 15 to 20 million. Don't get me wrong. It does have to do with the dollar, they do this all the time. Hey, you only pay $1 and you get Game Pass. So I'm not saying that that's not part of it, but I mean, there's a higher attach rate. We see the marketing technique of Xbox at this point going Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. We're releasing our exclusives day and date. And I'll be honest with you, and yes, I'm going to go back to Gears, but
it wouldn't be next podcast if you didn't do that, brother.
I have played more people in the past week and a half that are level 1s through 10. And I will gladly, if nobody believes me, take screenshots of people just walking around not knowing what the hell to do. And I feel so bad because
bad. Kill them all.
But it's I don't want to deter them from playing the game either, because once you learn it, you start enjoying it. And that goes for a lot of multiplayer games. Once you learn it, you start enjoying it, and that's the thing that a Game Pass gives you. You can go and say, I only pay $10 a month. I could try Gears, or I could try Halo. You know what I mean? So I as gamer myself for so many years, this is the coolest thing that I've ever seen. And this just proves it with GTA 5 going in there, because now I can go and say, all right, what game haven't been playing? Let me take that off the hard drive. Let me throw that on there and see what's going on. Because I haven't played GTA since like, San Andreas.
I think it's like 69 gigs to download. So make sure it's got to be a couple games probably that you're gonna have to like.
Untitled Goose Game can go, and then we'll see.
Dude, I still gotta play that game, man. I want
it's
to so
fun.
bad.
I beat it. That's one of the 5 games I beat this year. Like I beat it. That's how much fun it was for me.
Hold on, this year
started.
Yeah.
Did he mean 2019 or did he mean this year? Like,
oh, okay. I'm sorry. 2019. Oh,
caught you, Crispy. Caught
so
you.
only beat 5 games in 2019.
Yes.
Damn, dude.
I've always said on multiplayer. That's all I play.
Yeah.
Really multiplayer.
No,
so
Dark.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is. K Mega is here.
Do I sound any better? Do I sound like a god?
Not like Crispy, no.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I'm about to mute you after that one. No, dude, you sound good. The more you talk or whatever, I'll let you know honestly. So by the end of the show,
because when I was trying to use it yesterday, it sounded really low. So that's why I was like, might as well try to do it here, see what it sounds like.
All right, so everybody in the chat, K Mega is trying out a new mic, so let him know as he talks whether or not it sounds good. I think it sounds pretty good right now, but with talking about GTA 5 and talking about Game Pass, it brought up something in my mind I want to talk to you guys about real quick, and that is what Predator said with Games with Gold. Because we see their support with Game Pass, but let's be really honest here. Games with Gold, I know they have to try to cater to like every gamer out there. So, there's some months that the Games with Gold, they're really not gonna accommodate, like say me for instance, or somebody else. They're gonna be like, I don't like any of those games or whatnot. I'm gonna go back to Predator on this one. Predator, moving forward, we're looking where we're going into the Series X, the PS5, and all that good stuff. In terms of Games with Gold, do you think they should continue giving Games with Gold out? And if so, what do you think they should do to improve the system? Because like I think there's room for improvement there, and I want to hear what you think, man.
Man,
It's one of those curveballs, brother.
Yeah, I look at some of the Games with Gold titles, and when it first started, the program first started, I was downloading everything, like just because I wanted to have it because it was free.
Yeah,
And now I don't even pay attention to it because it's usually titles I don't want to play, would probably never play, even if they're free. I don't even want them. So I think maybe they should scale that back a little bit. Instead of offering you what was it, 3 games? I think they do with Games with Gold.
4.
Yeah. Scale it back and just do like 1 or 2 and just do it randomly. But they got to be like, like bangers. Like they got to be like
bigger titles, right?
Yeah, bigger titles. Like, because I mean, at some point they're going to run out of shit to give you for free. And the thing is, the more they give you in Games with Gold, the less like it's almost like I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. They're giving you a title for free, or they can give you a title in Game Pass. Which one is more profitable to them?
Game Pass, of course.
Game Pass. So like, why put it in Games with Gold and give it to you when they can put it in, in Game Pass and make you buy Game Pass? Because they're already getting the money from you from Xbox Live, so they don't need to do anything extra to keep you there. Like they can just put the shit in Game Pass and keep you coming to Game Pass because you're expecting new titles. Or like, look at it this way: like if you don't have Game Pass and something like GTA comes in and you don't have it, that gives you incentive to pick up Game Pass. But if you already got if you already got Xbox Live and they put it in Games with Gold, you can just get it. It's always going to be yours. So from the business perspective, I think it makes more sense to put it in Game Pass versus Games with Gold. But I don't think they should do away with it. But I could see them just kind of shine away completely from Games with Gold at some point in time. Mm-hmm. The only thing and I don't remember who mentioned this when we were talking in one of the chats on Twitter, but like, the titles that are coming up from this generation going into next generation, they can actually start feeding those games into Games with Gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, even some of the titles that are in Game Pass, can get pulled over into games like Gears, like something like that, like Gears 4, Gears 5, some of the Forces or something like that. That way you'll always have it. Like imagine like going into the launch of the the Series X, and they put free games in there from this generation that were like blockbusters, like the good selling games, like they put Halo 5 in there for free and games with gold, that like the month of launch, so now you get Ultimate or Master Chief Collection, you get the new Halo because you bought it, and you get everything else. You get some of the old Forges and stuff like that. For some of the people who don't have an Xbox, and this is their first time getting it, it's almost like a deal to them because they're going to get not only the system, you're going to get like 5 or 6 games that are going to pop into games with gold in the next couple of months. So I don't know. I honestly have not downloaded a games with gold title in God knows how long. I couldn't tell you.
I've downloaded a couple, every month or whatnot. But yo, Pred, how about this? If they do keep kind of like the same format, what I was thinking, if you remember when they first came out with games with gold, you were allowed to keep it whether or not you had Xbox Live or not. Do you remember that?
They still do that, don't they?
No. If you don't have Xbox Live, then you don't.
I know Sony does that, I think.
Yeah, they went and did the same thing. After a while, they switched kind of like their path there. So, see, you didn't even know that, man. So,
because I haven't downloaded anything from there for forever.
So, what do you think? Like, I'm thinking that when it comes down to it, and this is if they release the free to play games out of the paywall for Xbox Live, and they allow people to play those games multiplayer, which I feel they should. All right, I feel they should do that. Other consoles out there have been doing this for a while. They need to catch up, and they need to do the same thing. What would you think about if they go back to that style where once you download the game with Games with Gold, it's yours no matter what? You don't have to keep live. You can still play your Fortnite, and you can play that game that you got from Games with Gold. Do you think that would be better?
I think they should do that because honestly, that's what I thought they were doing in the first place until you said that to me. So if they're not doing that, then what's the purpose? What's the incentive of a gamer who doesn't have Game Pass? If you're not going to get to keep that game, if it comes in games with gold, like I really did not know that they took that away from you.
Well, Shizno said in the chat, he said 360 games you keep, but the X1 games you do require to keep gold if you want to keep playing those. So I think they should upgrade that to whatever games they offer.
Yeah, they're not doing any more back and pack games anymore, so they're not going to put any more 360 games in there. I don't think.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure on that.
Again, I haven't looked, so I don't know what the last 360 game that was put in there was.
There's usually 2 360 games or 2 back compat games and then 2 Xbox One games every month.
Yeah, Tekken 6 is the latest one.
Is that back? Is that
Yeah, Tekken 6 is. Tekken 7 is this gen. Tekken 6 is last as a 360.
All right, so. On that note, let's bring it to K Mega because K Mega chimed in on this. You heard what I said, man. Game Pass is looking so good, becoming an incredible value. Like, I don't know, Mega, me and you said that way in the beginning when they had like 2 little games in there or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
It's turning out to be absolutely what we talked about. So what do you think with games with gold? Do you think that, at some point in time they should do away with games with gold? And if you don't think so, how do you think they can improve it, man?
I don't, you know what? We could go back to when, on a quote that Crap was saying back in the days, where, and of course, our bro, he's made different statements, but at the time, he was saying that, look, why would anybody be pissed off about free games? Why would anybody want something that, it's free? And I understand that it's technically not, because like what Pred said, it's just like with PSN. If you're not going to continue to pay for the service, you don't get the chance to play those games. But those are filler games. Game Pass is the main entree now. It's the main service, and games for gold, as we were seeing go by the year, about the whole everything of last year, it was just winding down. Games weren't.
Yo, Noof Nukem, he warned us about this. He was the first person in our community to say that games with gold is going to be watered down from now on, man.
Oh, I mean, yeah, and I mean, I think if PlayStation Now if PlayStation Now starts being the catalyst for PlayStation, it's you know what I'm saying, they're going to have their games are going to start getting watered down as well over there at PSN. So I myself, I'm not tripping about it because I mean, a free game is a free game. It's especially if it's a game that I haven't got a chance to play. No, are they games that makes me scream and get hype and say, "Oh no, it doesn't." But there are some intriguing games. There's some games that I don't even download because I know that I would never play some of those games. But I can't see why anybody would be upset over free games. We actually know the real reason why we pay for gold in the first place. And some people will have, some people will say that, it's behind some kind of paywall and it's Microsoft, they're greedy monsters and they want to take your money. Other people will say that it's because Microsoft wants to make sure that we don't get hacked and have these type of issues that there's been on other consoles. So whatever side that you're on that, the games were really at one time were the focus, but we see the Game Pass is the main focus of where they want to go and where they want to be.
Right,
so
well, what do you think about my idea that going back to like games with gold roots and every single game that you get it no matter what. So if you don't pay for live, like I said, release the free-to-play games out of the Xbox Live paywall. I think that's something they need to do. All right,
that's something they need to do.
And I think we need to speak up a lot more as a community to let them know that they need to do this. Man, they're playing catch up in that area with other console makers right now. You know what I'm saying? So they need to do that. What do you think about would that be a good enough improvement, like having the games there no matter what, like any game that you got with Game with Gold, you'll be able to play it even if you don't have Xbox Live Gold?
I don't know. Just do the free to play games, get that out of the paywall, and then do what they, because there was one time that you couldn't go back and pick up those old games that was available on Games for Gold. But now you can go and you can check, and if there was a game that you may like, oh man, I see somebody play that, stream it, whatever. Oh, I remember that game was on Games for Gold. Well, I could go ahead and I could go look for it and find it and then download it. You can do that now. You couldn't at one particular time, but because I think, matter of fact, because one of those games was Sunset Overdrive. And I tried to go back and they didn't have that option at the time when Sunset Overdrive was a free one of those free games.
Dude, I tried to tell everybody to download that game.
Yeah, and I didn't download it, but it's because I was like, man, because I was still on the fence about it, because I mean, it wasn't something that I was really into. But I was like, and I missed it, so I just went ahead and bought it. I should
go back and stream that game again just to show people one more time.
No, it's not a bad game. It's just that I kind of figured, the game was something like, it wasn't something that I would be just going gung-ho and saying, oh, this game is the best thing since sliced bread. But you know what? Look, I think the main thing what they need to do with Gold is just to release the paywall, not the paywall, but
the free-to-play.
The free-to-play. Let that be free to those if they don't have Gold. But the games themselves, I mean, I don't expect to see, Division 2 on there. I mean, that's where that's what Game Pass is for. And somebody in the chat already said this as well, that it was already getting watered down, but hell, they took away a couple of other games. You don't get Vita games anymore, and you don't get those old PlayStation games. So they only give you 2 games. Now, they've had the better of the lineup if you want to go back to 2019, because they've had better games to show or to preview. But I don't know. I wouldn't take this as something that people should get upset or up in arms with. I mean, because everybody knows you're going to have Gold, you're going to keep Gold, and as long as
I'm just looking for ways to improve it, man. Like as the industry, the industry is already bigger than the movies. It just constantly keeps growing, and at that rate, when it comes down to it, I'm always looking for places where companies can improve on what they're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to games with Gold, like I said, they try to cater to every type of gamer. So there's going to be months where, the hardcore is just not going to be happy with the offerings. There's going to be months where casuals are going to be like, yo, what the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? But I really feel like they need to bring back that whole thing where if you download the game as a game with Gold, then it's yours forever, regardless if you have live or not. I think that would be a good step in the right direction for improving that service, man. I don't know. I feel like that. Crispy, what do you think, brother? Games with Gold, like we keep seeing Game Pass just growing and increasing in value, all that good stuff. Do you think it eventually Games with Gold is going away? And if not, what is your way of improving Games with Gold, bro?
Well, it probably is going away, to be honest, just because of how successful Game Pass is. But in retrospect, you could keep it if you do what actually like you, K-Meg, like everybody's kind of agreeing with, like, hey, let the free to plays be free to play. You know, we have internet connection. Like, why can't we play them? You know, I mean, we used to have Xbox Silver. You know what I mean?
Crispy, I hate to interrupt you. Just 1 second. I just want to address Other Zinc real quick. Other Zinc, I have been putting out suggestions on how to improve PlayStation Now, and I get like incredibly buried from other people for it. Like, I think they, you know, when it comes to PlayStation Now, they need to put their first party in day and date as well, just like Game Pass does. Let the services kind of have the same kind of like qualifications and stuff like that, and let all the gamers kind of get in on a service like Game Pass. So Others think I've been trying to say improvements on Sony's side as well, and I'm going to continue to do that. My bad, Crispy.
Yeah, but and that's the point. Like PS Now, if you had day and date, all these exclusives, or even, you know, the back, like, you could say, hey, you know, we're gonna have you put God of War in there and this and that, but you know, Uncharted, but you got to put them all in there. You know what I mean? Put everything you got, okay, and charge the $10 or whatever. You know, match the price that Xbox Game Pass does, and I might buy a PlayStation because then I don't have to sit there and spend $60 or 30 or 20 on you know, all these games that, you know, maybe old or whatever, but I still haven't played. You know, because I'm like I said, I'm a multiplayer gamer and I play multiplayer games for the most part. Like, yeah, I'll play the campaign if it's good enough, but in the end, I want to be able to go back to that game if I'm going to spend $60 and say, okay, I can still put another 100 hours in on the multiplayer side of it. And that's the way I look at when I spend my money. Like, I don't have a shit ton. So when Game Pass, like, I didn't buy Gears 5. I already had Game Pass. Mm-hmm. Why am I going to buy that? You know what I mean? It's the same.
It's going to be in there forever, man. It's going to be in there forever as well.
And that's the beauty of it. And like, that's what PlayStation does need to do. But at the same time, PlayStation lets you play your free-to-play games online. You know what I mean? So I agree with you guys. Like, Xbox needs to step it up as far as that, or get rid of Games with Gold and just throw it to the wayside, because you're not giving us anything great. Like, most of the 360 games are the ones I'm interested in downloading, not the Xbox One games. You know what I mean? Like, this past lineup was pretty decent, but it didn't grab me. So I'm like, you know, I have only a certain amount of hard drive space. I don't have an SSD like some people do. So, you know, I'm just like, am I going to download that? You know, I can, you know, you just install it or whatever and then uninstall it. But, you know, am I keeping it anymore? Like, that's the question we have now. Like, especially if it's an Xbox One game, you don't know. So it is what it is. Like, we have to call them out the way that they should do things, but in the end, they're it's up to them to do it. And, you know, if Phil is truly about the gamer and everything else, he should do it. He should let you play Fortnite if you don't have gold. He should let you, you know, if you have it shouldn't be called Games with Gold anymore. That's the point. You know, Xbox games, you know, they got to change the name. They got to change it.
Just add it as just another service. I mean, I don't know, but I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to say this. I mean, oh yeah, I am. I'm away from the mic. Okay, so what I was trying to say was last month had some good games. I would have never bought Jurassic Park. So I you know what I'm saying, that was a good game. That was a good get. So they were hit and miss for the majority of the year last year, but they had some bangers on there. And of course, you know how I love my Tekken. So this is just another game to just add to your collection. And if, because I don't know if Tekken 6 is in Game Pass. I have no idea, because you know I got all the Tekkens that's available. So It's not gonna. But for me, I just look at it as I can't get too overexcited or out of pocket because some of these games for gold or with PSN aren't aren't really big titles that could just make people say, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? When you got Game Pass right there, that's just killing it right now.
We lost
Sound
sound. It looks like
dropped.
we lost sound again.
Oh, the audio dropped. Can y'all still hear me, or what happened?
Stop touching shit.
No.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I'm getting everything straight for season 3 as well.
It's back again.
Yeah, no, it is. I had to change.
Okay, Bob, let me ask you a question. Let me also say, are you clicking over and checking stuff like through your computer?
I have my OBS up like over what I'm seeing on the show.
Because that's what I was having with the problem with my mic. That's what took me so long to come back.
No, I didn't change. I go by different scenes, and the last scene, if you notice, I changed the last scene. I got something different going up on the screen. Yeah. I got the chat and everything going. Got a little animation in the background. I think it looks fire. I think it looks fire right there.
I don't see Locke or I don't see Marlo Briggs.
Dude, it's a representation.
It's no podcast. We still got to talk, bot.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. All right. We're good. I'm talking. They could hear you, by the way. It was only me that they couldn't hear. So, on that note, like I said, we do got to switch topics. We're going to go into Electronic Arts, which just a couple days back, EA had an announcement. It seems that Vince Zampella, the head of Respawn Studios, which for people who don't know, that's under EA Publishing, it seems he has a new job as well as keeping his old job. I believe he's taking over as the head of DICE, as well as being the head of Respawn Studios. So this guy is now going to head 2 different studios. And I want to ask the panel what you guys think about that, man, because, like, in my opinion, running one studio is hard enough. Do you like, I'm going to go to Pred on this one. All right, Pred, Zampella is now going to head DICE Studio and Respawn Studio. Do you think this guy has it in him to run 2 studios? And what do you think he would do for DICE that would be, I don't know, better than what they were doing up to the recent past?
I don't know. I mean, like, the only DICE game I can think of off the top of my head that I play a lot is Battlefield.
And he'll be taking over on that one.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, I mean, we're looking at Titanfall, he's done. You're looking at Jedi Fallen Order, he's done. So, like, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. 2 studios may be a bit much, but maybe it's like, coming off the success of Jedi Fallen Order, that maybe they're like, this dude deserves more responsibility. My question is, who was in DICE before he left?
I don't know.
I forgot that guy's name. I thought he was French, but he left or he got canned just last year. But he was there for a long time, so he was ahead of all of DICE, because I think DICE LA is a different entity by itself. But
oh yeah, he's taking. So Zampella's doing DICE LA, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know what DICE LA does off the top of my head. I mean, obviously they thought that this was a good fit to move him to this position. So, like, I'm not gonna question what they're doing over there. Like, just don't fuck on my Battlefield. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, like, look at the games he's done in the past. I think his track history has been very well, so like I don't have a problem with it. It's just, is he going to be able to put the effort into doing 2 studios that he did with, the Titanfall stuff and with Jedi Fallen Order? Like that's my question. Like, give us that same, God, I'm about to say it. Give me the same energy that you put in,
Hashtag same energy, people.
I love Titanfall. I love, I love Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, so like, if anybody can do it, I think this is a good fit. So just don't fuck on my Battlefield.
Nice. Now, when it comes to EA, and if they're like, oh, well, they think he can handle it, I'm just gonna let you know, Pred, I'm gonna take that with a huge grain of salt, because I don't really feel like EA as a publisher. I think they do what they think is gonna be good for them and them only. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little concerned for this guy's well-being at the end of the day when it comes to trying to run 2 studios under EA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, damn, man, how, like, to say, yeah, they must have put a nice signing bonus in there. You know what I'm saying? For him to agree to that.
I'm pretty sure they had other people that could have done both of these, but like, I mean, I'm not behind the scenes with them. It might have been something he wanted to do too. So, if he took, again, we sit here and we say he's got the position, but we also we don't understand like that maybe he wanted the position, like he wanted to do this. So like, we don't know that. So if he thought he can handle it and he signed off on it, fuck it. Let's see what happens.
Okay. All right, brother. Let's go to K Mega on this. K Mega, what do you think about this move? We got Sampella. He's running 2 studios now. And another question I want to ask you, because when it comes to Vince, any of the games that he made under EA did not use the Frostbite engine. All right. So now he's controlling 2 studios. Does this show that EA might be losing a little bit of confidence in their engine, and they're going to let 2 studios use whatever engine they want when creating their games?
That's a possibility. That's something that we talked about at last night on GRG, and also big shout out to Centurion, who was on the show last night. He
dude, he's one of my favorite like pro Xbox channels on YouTube.
Oh yeah. He's great. He was great. That Zampella is on the EA is a chairman. Like he's up there. So he was already at a high status already, and so I'm kind of agreeing with Pred that maybe this is something that he wanted to take on that challenge. Now, the one thing that I will say, and I agree with Pred with this, and I said this last night, is that there is a strong, and I mean strong hardcore with Battlefield. Regardless of what Battlefield 5 did, it's still, lobbies are full. You could get a game. It's not going to die. People are still going to play Battlefield 5 just like they're playing Battlefield 1. Regardless, it just didn't get the same type of traction as 4. But you don't fuck with that game. You make it better. You give everybody what everybody wants, which is a modern, maybe a semi-futuristic shooter, but you make it modern and the people will flock to it. If you try to go out here trying to change the engine and get all cute and try to make it more COD-like because you've worked on COD, you talk about the hate for EA.
I think Frostbite was made with
Battlefield in mind. Yes. Yeah. So that's the thing. So if they want to use Unreal Engine 4, I mean that engine is definitely capable. We've seen plenty of games with great destruction, things like that, but you just don't mess with the recipe of what makes Battlefield fantastic and differentiate what's over COD. Now, there is another series that I think that we're all overlooking that maybe Zampella want to be involved in, and that is Medal of Honor. Now, if you want to make a COD-like game, Medal of Honor would be perfect because it kind of basically fell off after the whole Taliban against the U.S. stuff, and a lot of people, this caused a lot of controversy. But you could definitely use that and have that as a modern to semi, or even go kind of maybe back to the 80s, Vietnam, whatever the case may be, what he want to do with it. But I think that would be a great franchise for him to work with. And he's got the pedigree. He's
Damn,
got a
EA
great
would
track
have their
record with his
own-
games. Because I mean, even Titanfall was it got the heat because he put his foot in his mouth by trying to cater to sell his game, which we understand that it's business. But I think that would be a better option for him to just use whatever engine he wants to, and I don't think that the hardcore for Battlefield would trip out. What do you think about that, Pred? Because I know
what are the possibilities of him just making something completely different?
Well, I mean, he could do that as well. I mean, Dice LA has worked on a whole bunch of Command and Conquers. That like I'm looking at a list right now. What is this? Middle Earth, Goosebumps. Like tons of games
right now.
like
Dice is most of their games from Dice LA are Battlefield, right?
Dude, I
Right.
like the idea. No, my bad, Predator. I just want to say I like the idea of Medal of Honor because, Battlefield gained so much popularity that people started comparing Battlefield to Call of Duty and saying,
Right.
this is the year that Battlefield is going to take over. But if they use Medal of Honor to go with that more kind of like, how Call of Duty is made, then EA has their own Call of Duty type game, and they
Right.
can let Battlefield be exactly what Battlefield is and
Right.
expand it that way.
Right.
Well,
now,
look at EA's track record for games right now. I don't think another shooter is what they need. To be honest with you, they got
I got
Apex,
that.
right? They got Battlefield, they got Titanfall, they got Battlefront. I mean, like that's way too many shooters.
No, as big as EA is, they got enough they could throw other. They could.
I mean, I think they have enough people to
developers.
do it.
They
I
got
don't
enough
think
people.
it's something they need to do because, there's other games they could make out there that besides a shooter that could be profitable and be marketable. So, expand your fucking palette a little bit.
I get that, but see, it goes back to the whole conversation when everybody was wanting 343 to be to do what Zampella did with Star Wars, which that would be nice. I'm pretty sure it'd be dope, but sometimes you just don't get away from the original recipe, and maybe that's where his niche is where he just wants to work, or what EA may ask of him, or what he may suggest is that what he wants to do is maybe revitalize Medal of Honor or deal with all the shooters because that's his wheelhouse. That's what he knows. And I don't have a problem with it. Like I said this a long time ago, but I said this also on GRG last night about the strategy that EA was probably trying to do to compete with Activision, where they were trying to have Hardline and Battlefield and Star Wars and Titanfall all kind of go against Sledgehammer, Treyarch, and I forget what the other name is. And try to have their own versions, because I think what they wanted to do was do old school shooters, do modern, and then do futuristic. And what EA was trying to do was trying to combat that, but it blew up in their face.
Yeah.
They might be trying to do this again, but maybe go a different angle with it.
Well,
and so
shout out to Jay
Slayer.
Shout out to Jay Slayer Jay in the chat said that Vince is renaming the studio and they're making a new IP. So
Okay. Right,
Jay,
cool.
if you have the information for that, I believe you're on Twitter. Send me a DM, send me a link or something that lets me know that that's exactly what's going on there, especially in terms of the new IP. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so if it's a new IP, then Battlefield is safe. But I would love for Zampella to work on another Medal of Honor or something of that nature. Like I said, Battlefield is too iffy. And you know what I'm saying? You can't change that engine because I think that's what the Frostbite engine was made for originally.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gone into Madden and everything else. But that could be the start of EA rebalancing itself and becoming back to where they used to be. I mean, look, Monster Hunter is going to be coming back. I can't wait for that. I heard some rumblings in gaming sites that they were talking about that Mass Effect wasn't dead. So who knows? I don't know. But I mean, look, I think it's a good look personally. Like I said, as long as he doesn't put his foot in his mouth like he did with the whole Titanfall 2 thing, which he didn't with the Star Wars game. So I think everything is all right. I mean, because the man can make some damn dope ass games. Everybody loves the story. They love the story or the multiplayer with Titanfall 2. everybody who's been playing.
Nobody heard that, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, Dark, you've been quiet as hell. I forgot you were in here, man.
Oh man. And so also with Star Wars, I mean, I love Star Wars. I think it's fantastic. So I mean, the sky's the limit for EA, man. And I don't hate EA like other people do. So I hope success for them, actually.
Nice. Now, Dark, you started laughing. Do you know Powdered Toast Man?
No.
All right, that's from Ren and Stimpy, and I have been blowing people away with that notification on my phone. All right, I absolutely love it. The kids are scared to death of it. Like every time it goes off, it scares them. So I'm like, yo, it's perfect. But Dark, what do you think about this move with Vince here, man? Now he's going to be running 2 studios. I'm like, dude, how the hell are you going to do this and like still, spend time with your family and stuff? But I guess he thinks he can do it. So what do you think about this in terms? Because I look at him as the rebel under EA. He's the one that's like, nah, I'm not using the Frostbite. I'm doing my own thing. Oh, we're known for shooters? All right, I'm going to use it this time to make a Star Wars Melee Jedi game. You know what I'm saying? I look at him as the rebel. So how do you think this is going to play out, man?
I think it'll be interesting to see where he takes both studios. It's going to be rough. I mean, you don't really hear too many, heads taking on two separate studios, especially since Respawn and DICE LA is a little. They're 2 different types of studios, and DICE, they really focus on more of the Battlefront, Battlefield franchises. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe he'll come up with a new IP for DICE LA, or maybe he'll stick with Respawn making the new IPs, and then have DICE LA kind of revamp Battlefront, and hopefully he doesn't change too much in Battlefield, because I think Battlefield is good where it is right now. I didn't really like 5 as much, but that's only because the weapons are just, I don't like going back to like the World War II weapons and stuff like that. Just, I don't like it.
It's a more personal thing for you than anything else.
It's more a personal thing for me than it is anything else. So, I mean, but the game is really good. I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, I own it, actually. I think, I do own it. So, I mean,
I own it, actually. I think
it's gonna be really interesting to see where he's gonna go with both studios. I really do think that, with the fact that he showed his chops with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, really set a precedent through EA, and said, hey, this guy's got some talent. Let's see what he can do with this other studio.
Dude, ever since he made Jedi Fallen Order, like ever since that team, because it's not just him. Let's just say team made that.
Him,
Dude, I have faith that he can make whatever game he wants to make. Like, to go from Titanfall to that and still knock it out the park is amazing.
Yeah, that's really surprising. I mean, you don't really see very many companies go from making first-person shooters to making a third-person action game and have success with it. I mean, the only one that I can think of that comes to mind is Guerrilla Games with Killzone, and then they went on and made Horizon Zero Dawn. So it was really interesting, to see them kind of go into that realm of third person. And it was really interesting to see what Respawn was going to come up with Jedi Fallen Order, and I think they knocked it out of the park. So, it's going to be, I think for him, it'll be a little bit of a bumpy ride, because if he changes things with like Battlefield or something like that, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to complain. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to, kind of rally together, especially since that community is so big, that are going to be like, like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Don't do this. Don't do that.
Don't do this. Just don't do this, man.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it. I would have actually liked to have been on Crossfire last night just to hear what Mooch had to say, because I know he has his gripes with Vincent Pella, so I would have liked to have heard that. That would have been,
everything's
that would
all
have been
good
funny.
now between him and Vince.
Oh, okay.
Man. Yeah, nah.
Him and Vince are good. I
Yeah,
remember
they're
when I remember when Titanfall 2 came out. I mentioned it one time. I said, yeah, Vincent Pella. He's like, Vincent Pella, Vincent Pella. And I was just like, oh man, I opened up a can of worms.
A little bit, just a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm glad that they're giving him like I think he kind of took the keys to the car himself, because when it came down to it, you look at his games, they're not using Frostbite, and with EA, they have tried to push Frostbite. They Ghost Studios had to use it for Need for Speed. All right, like and you hear it kind of like in the background, EA was telling all of their developers they needed to use that engine for their titles, and Vince is like, hell no, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And because he did that and he was successful, I'm actually looking forward to what he does with both studios. Crispy, what do you think, brother? Vince Zampella, like, I don't know if you like the guy, if you don't like the guy, if you like his work or whatnot, but what do you think about him running 2 studios under EA? Is EA going to work him to death, man?
They're not going to work him to death. I think personally that EA is just lining him up to run EA. After Jedi Fallen Order, the game has literally like just shocked the world because it came from EA. Like, technically, let's be technical. Everybody knows that it's, it says EA when you start the game.
Yeah, kind of hard to believe, but yeah, no, it does say EA.
And I'm gonna tell you, this guy's versatility is incredible, because you're gonna go from Titanfall to that, and you're still gonna put out an amazing game. Because we could sit here and say what you want, but Titanfall 1 at the least grabbed everybody at the time when it released. You know what I mean? But Jedi Fallen Order has destroyed records for EA. Okay, like the only thing that's going for like even like Madden or something like that is the microtransactions and stuff. Other than that, Jedi Fallen Order is just a completely, self-sustaining game. It's just you play single player and that's it. That's all you got.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's a huge deal to them that they're making so much money off of a game, and they invested a lot. I'm sure they did, but they let him do what he wanted to do with the game, and that's going to become, what EA needs to do. We've all said it. EA, Frostbite, they forced every dev that they had to use Frostbite for a period of time, and then all of a sudden they let Respawn do what the hell they wanted.
I think Vince was like, no, we're using what we need to use to make this game possible. Like,
and he's sitting, and like K-Meg said, he's sitting at the chair. Like we all talk about when Phil wasn't sitting at the table, and then all of a sudden he is. You know what I mean? So you're sitting at the table. You created a game that it's probably gonna break some records, especially multi-plat. I mean, people are still buying. I still have people like,
Crispy, I gotta say, man, you absolutely blew me away by saying they're like kind of like honing him to head EA, because I did not even think about that. But as soon as you said it, I'm like, holy, like that could very well be. Like,
I mean, he might not have no life. I mean, I know people that I work with that have no life, that are above me. You know what I mean? That are constantly in the stores, that are never at home. Maybe they don't have family or something. I don't know his life story. You know what I mean? And maybe all he cares about is his work. And I mean, clearly he cares about it, because I played Jedi Fallen Order. I haven't beat it, I'm going to be honest. But that's because I can always go back to that game and enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy it. It's never going to get uninstalled until I beat it. You know what I mean? So that's the type of game that, like, for a single player story, and because I love Star Wars, it's just it made me happy. I felt like a Jedi. Every time I play the game, I feel like a Jedi. I feel like I have to fight for everything I have, especially in the Fallen Order when they Order 66 comes out. You know what I mean? They made you feel that. And that's from a multiplayer-esque developer at the time.
Mhm.
The Titanfall was more multiplayer than anything else. So this guy has versatility.
Mhm.
He has everything you'd want in a CEO at some point.
He's got some attitude as well, which you do need running a company like that. Dude, I can see it, and like I said, dude, I did not picture that at all until you said that. Yo, anybody on the panel want to chime in on that possibility that they're honing him, they're kind of grooming him to possibly be the head of EA in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Oh, go ahead, Otter.
I mean, it's very possible. It's definitely. I mean, he brought up a good point. I was like, holy crap, that's actually brilliant. That would have been a brilliant idea. That's probably what they're actually doing.
Are you surprised that he's coming up with brilliance?
Let's see what he can do with 2 studios. No, I'm not. Not at all.
Okay, I'm about to say.
I mean, usually when I hear Crispy on a podcast, I'm just like, yeah, this guy.
It just went silent. We're not hearing you right now. There it goes.
Oh, really?
There. Yep. No.
okay.
Nobody heard your
Well,
compliment to Crispy. I guess we're just gonna have to leave it in limbo. Nobody's gonna hear it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to skip it over. But I think I was surprised that nobody else came up with that on the panel. I'm very ashamed of K Mega. He didn't come up with it.
Well, we're going to
like,
him
what are you
after
doing,
you. So lay it in thick on him, because then we can see what he's going to say about that, dude. Mega, what do you think, brother?
It could be definitely a test run. I mean, to have multiple, to be in charge of multiple studios, that could be like the beginning of something. Just like how, Phil Spencer, he had to get his feet wet, see how he can react to certain things, and then he got into the driver's seat. So yeah, no, it could definitely be a possibility. And I mean, like I said, the pedigree that he has, and then just the success of this game of Star Wars. I mean, and let's not forget about the stuff that he's did with the Call of Duties. I mean, some of the best memorable Call of Duties of all time is from him. Yeah, so.
Yeah, Modern Warfare.
The Modern Warfare. So like the man has the pedigree. So I mean, it could definitely happen. If it's a new IP, like somebody said in the chat, then that's even.
He faded out. Hold on. All right, he's back.
No,
what's going on with your computer, bot?
Yeah,
no, that wasn't me. Like, it just it faded out. Now, Dark, you can't say anything because every time you're on the show, it does that. All right, dude.
Okay. So, regardless of that, though, I mean, I just think, and I'm going to quote something from my boy Lemon. Maybe EA needs to put Vincent Pella out there to get NBA Live back into.
Dude, he can do it, man.
I used to love NBA Live.
He can do it.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So. Shout out to my boy 108 Dragons TV, man.
I don't think he would use his talent for NBA Live. I'm just saying.
You know what?
They need some talent up in there. They need some talent.
They need some work out there.
Yo, BJ Shepard says he needs a new fight night from EA. So.
Oh yeah, they definitely need a new fight night. And you know what? God. I really do think that they are working on a new boxing game.
I hope so, man.
I mean, I don't know, man. I would hope so because they there was something that came out in November where they were shutting down the last Fight Night servers, and it was going to be shut down sometime early this year. So that could be indication that they might be actually working on something and want to present it or show it off. It might not be coming, to the new consoles day one, but it might be something that could be coming down the pike. But who knows? All I can say is that, look, I think what Crispy said it was smart as hell. It could be the beginning of the start of him taking over, or definitely having more say so going on.
Being groomed, man. Being
groomed. So, because EA definitely does need it, and also Battlefront 2 is a lot better than what it was at the beginning of the launch. They just added something here a couple of months ago. Well, not a couple of months ago. It was what now?
Oh, the new content?
It was like
the new content. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and it was a new content. I haven't got a chance to jump in and play it yet. I probably might do that and stream that tonight. But But I've been hearing a lot of great things, and they're like, this is how the game should have been when it first came out. And so that could be, that may not have nothing to do with him, but that could be maybe something that he suggested, since if he is a person that's in a chair, that he can give information to the head CEO out there and just say, hey, look, this is what you need to do to get people back in good faith. So I don't know. I think that would be great. So,
all right, well,
the best.
We need to hear from Pred on this, man, because he's the only one who hasn't chimed in terms of what our brother Crispy said. What do you think about them possibly grooming Vince to take over at EA Publishing, man?
I'd be a little surprised if they hired somebody from the outside, but I think Microsoft kind of did that too. But recently, getting Matt Booty over there from, I think, Crystal Dynamics, wherever he came from. But it wouldn't surprise me to the point where, like, I'm looking at who is there now at EA, and the guy that's sitting as CEO, I think his name is Andrew Wilson. He's also serving on the board of directors for Intel as well. So, like, that's a lot. So maybe Crispy's right. He's trying to step down his role a little bit and get someone in there to pass it on to that's been proven. So I can't disagree with what Crispy said.
Nice. Guys, you heard it here first. I haven't heard anybody else with talking about Vince Zampella and what's going on at EA. I haven't heard anybody else talk about the possibility that he might take over as the head of EA Publishing. So you heard it here on this show first, guys. And we are moving on, and let's move on. Since we're moving on to a new generation in the gaming console, let's talk about launch lineups, or possibly the lack thereof. And yes, guys, I am talking about the PlayStation 5. Now, there is a rumor going around that Sony's first party is not ready for the launch of the PlayStation 5. And if you look across the board,
where'd you hear that from, Bot?
There's been a couple articles, stuff like that out there. I mean, I can send you links in my spare time if you want, but I only talk about things that are put out there in terms of like articles and all that good stuff. Now, we talked about this.
You don't have to send me links. I'll just look it up.
Okay. Now, we talked about this on Crossfire last night as well, and it turned into a fairly loud topic. Now, on the Series X side of things, we know we are getting Halo Infinite at launch. They said Halo Infinite will be ready at launch. When it comes to another game, Forza Motorsport, the game is playable already between the developers, which makes me think that will be ready at launch as well. And, a lot of people, they try to downplay Halo Infinite, but a lot of people that try to downplay it are not a part of the Halo community. They don't listen to what the Halo community has to say in like forums, stuff like that. And the Halo community is absolutely hyped right now at the potential for Halo Infinite. And I think people are downplaying, Halo Infinite being a launch title for whatever reason. But I feel like they're definitely downplaying it. Now, if the rumors are true and PlayStation 5 doesn't have a heavy hitter in their first party for a PS5 launch lineup, I want to know from the panel and in the chat, guys. You type away. I am looking at the chat as well. I want to see what you guys think that means for PlayStation 5 and what that would mean for the next generation of consoles coming out. And I got to ask the panel, who wants to tackle this one first? Nobody.
I can go.
All right, we're gonna go with Dark. He spoke up first. Dark, what do you think about this rumor? Is this rumor true in your eyes? Do you think there is some credibility behind it? And let us know why or why not, and then let us know what you think this means for the launch lineup for the PlayStation 5, man.
I can tell you right now that whoever came up with those articles, or whoever is throwing those articles out there, it's basically clickbait. There are some people that I know that are working with the PS5. I can't name names, of course, but
You can
they-
in the DM in the background. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't do that either, but
You don't trust me, Dark?
They
You don't
reassure
trust
me that PlayStation 5 is going to be good. Like they're already talking about the launch titles and things like that, and I mean they even just revealed a launch title at the Game Awards. So there's going to be something there, you know, but I mean
that
to say that there's going to be like a lackluster of
Well, first
launch
off,
titles,
that's not
it could
first
be
party.
possible because I mean that happened with well, yeah, I know it's not first party.
Yeah.
But it is exclusive to the PS5, I think.
Or
I'm
at least
pretty
timed
positive.
exclusive.
Or timed,
It's
at least.
timed, yeah.
It's probably timed. But the launch, you know, I mean, launch titles on the PlayStation. let's be completely honest here. I don't think since the PS2 they've been really great launch titles. I mean,
So they have a track record of not having a lot of first party launch titles.
Yeah, nothing was better
Yeah.
than what the PlayStation 1 was. Yeah.
yeah, because PlayStation 1, I mean, how many launch titles did they have? I mean, they had a ton. And then PS2 had a few there too that were just really good.
Hold on, Dark. I got a super chat real quick. Yo,
Yeah, go
shout
ahead.
out to my brother Lou Cipher hitting up $2 in the super chat. Thank you, brother, for the love and support. He said $2 makes Xbot holler. Battletoads. Thank you again,
And-
brother.
Let's also be honest here and say that Microsoft has had pretty good launches, especially like with the first Xbox, the Xbox 360, even with the One. I mean, they had what, Rise Son of Rome. They had, God, they had so many. I can't
Max the
even
Curse of
remember.
Brotherhood, Crimson
Yeah,
Dragon. Like those are
Crimson
smaller.
Dragon. They were smaller, but they were still,
Did
you know,
Dead
games
Ri-
that
was
I
Dead
think-
Rising? Was
Dead Rising
Killer Instinct
3, Killer Instinct. I mean, they had a good
5.
launch title lineup. You know, they've always kind of had that lineup of games that are just like, oh wow, that's something I want to play. That's something I want to play. Or, you know, they usually have a launch lineup of several titles that people are interested in. You know, different types of gamers are interested in.
Mhm.
So it's going to be interesting to see what PlayStation 5 and the Series X do. I think Microsoft will probably have a little bit bigger of a launch lineup with terms
Dude,
of,
you're just hold on. You're just prepping people that they might not have any first party as a launch lineup on the PS5, and now you're saying Xbox might have a little bit better launch lineup, dude. It can't. You can't have it both ways, there, brother.
No. I'm saying that PS5 will have a launch lineup. They will. They will have a launch
they
lineup.
gotta.
They will have first party.
Well, they gotta have
They
a
will-
launch
they will-
lineup.
They will have first party games that people want to play. But I'm saying is that Xbox is going to come out with bangers because of the fact of this generation and how it's been kind of depleted for them when it comes to their first party titles. Especially, you know, in the past couple of years, we've only gotten one or two per year, you know, here and there. So I think, you know, them saving a lot of their launch titles for their next console, they're going to have more of a powerful launch because of the fact that they're going to have so many titles there to intrigue people to want to go and buy it.
I just want to throw this out here. Do you think that because we've already seen the announcement of when Last of Us 2 is coming out, if they never did that and they just kept quiet, do you think? Because personally, I think it would have been better if all of a sudden they said launch title with PS5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
It
what I
would've-
thought
it-
they were going to
it-
do to begin with.
I
man.
think it would have made more sense for both Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us Part 2 to come to PS5.
Yeah.
And it would have been a huge launch lineup right there. That would have signified PlayStation as probably, especially since there's so many people that are fans of The Last of Us, that would have definitely signified PlayStation as being the top dog in starting out the generation.
But then I see
Um,
Godfall, and I say they're trying to go multiplayer in some way, shape or form.
Well, Sean Layden said
Because
that they wanted to do that as
They
well.
they've
before
been
he
wanting to do
left.
that for years because of the fact that they don't have any real like exclusive multiplayer to their console. I mean, they've had Killzone, they've had a few others.
Killzone 2 is one of my
I
favorite
think they had
games.
like Disc Jam or something like that. I can't remember if that was
Disc Jam is an awesome little game, by the way.
But you know, it's an indie game, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, I think they're really kind of trying to focus a little bit more on multiplayer in terms of, you know, their little launch title there. You know, and they're not gonna not have a first party game come out.
I think they're gonna drop
launch.
some kind of bomb.
It's
you know
gonna
what I
be
mean?
something. There's gonna be something. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Especially when they know that Halo's coming. They are not gonna allow Halo to just
Shine
rock-
by itself.
Yeah, shine by itself. They're not gonna do it. It's just not gonna happen.
Yo, Dark, I'm gonna let you know right now. I don't think that this rumor is necessarily true. All right.
No, I don't
and
think so
I
either.
heard a few months back. I heard that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 was well underway in development and could possibly be a launch title. So I want to throw that out there.
That would be insane because you know why?
That wouldn't be
like
more
a
insane than Halo Infinite, though, man. I'm sorry, brother.
Probably not, but I think it'll be insane because it'll be more along the lines of a Breath of the Wild type of launch when
Good
it comes to you're gonna have Halo Infinite, which is which seems like it'll probably be an open world type of game, and then you also have Horizon Zero Dawn 2, which will be also an open world type of game. So it's gonna be a huge launch lineup, and I don't think our wallets are prepared for what's coming. Honestly, I really don't.
All right, hold on. Portal player in the chat. I am so sorry to do this to you, Dark, but he said this twice right now, okay? And he says the Series X won't have any real exclusives. Basically saying how, you know, Xbox games go to PC. And brother, here's the deal. If people really want to play those games, right? If they want the same type of performance that they're going to get from the Series X on the PC side of things, they are going to spend way more money, all right? Now, if they already have a gaming rig that can do that, then more power to them, all right? Because all in all, the money that they're spending on PC is going into game development for a console that I might be getting, you know, in holiday 2020.
Here's the whole thing. People are speculating that everybody's gonna ship to PC next generation because Xbox, you could just play your PC. You could just play those games on your PC. That is not going to happen when it comes to hardcore console players. It's not going to happen. Those console players are going to get the next Xbox. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. And you don't like it, tough crap, because it's happening. It's gonna happen.
K-Mega, Dark's bringing out the spicy words, man.
But it's an ecosystem. I mean, seriously, like
yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
you're right.
Ecosystem. You boot it up, you play it. Like I played on PC when I was a kid. Like I hated it because I would have to you got to download malware. You have to do this.
Exactly.
You have to do that to get the game to run. Like no, I don't want to do all that. I just want to play the fucking game. Like, come on.
that's the thing. I mean, he's also saying that it'll be on the Xbox One X too. Yes, it will be. But if you want the high performance and the better graphics and the better, resolution, you're going to get it on the Series X. You're gonna go out and you're gonna buy a Series X because that's what you do if you're a gamer, especially if you're a hardcore gamer and you love video games. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go out and buy the new stuff.
Hey,
you want the new thing.
This is the case in point right here. If PC gaming was so dominant, which there's a lot more people playing games on PC, but if PC gaming was so dominant and everybody was going over there, then consoles wouldn't be selling at an all-time high like they have.
Exactly. That's
what I'm saying. That narrative is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Once I first heard it 2-3 years ago when Xbox was over here trying to implement the Play Anywhere and all that.
It's funny when I hear people say, "Oh, I'll just go and play it on PC," but yet they don't own an Xbox.
Right,
They
like
have a
these
PC,
dudes are still
but they're
running off
not
of
gonna go
AOL.
out.
You know what
They
I'm
don't
saying?
even buy it on PC.
Right, like oh well, I'm gonna buy me a PC here, and you know what I'm saying, the next 2 years. Well, shit, you know what I'm saying, that ain't gonna do you no good. So you're gonna do
Yeah, and
the
you're
same
gonna
thing
spend
that you did this
$1,500
generation. You're gonna
on
buy
the
a
new
console.
PC.
Yeah,
You're gonna
keep talking
spend a
about it.
lot
Yeah.
of more money on a PC than
Listen,
you will on the next console.
Listen,
Guaranteed.
I upgraded my PC. I rebuilt my PC.
Especially if you want it full
and I
optimized.
spent $1,300 on this PC, and it's only just the equivalent of the X, maybe a
And,
little bit
and a lot of
better.
people would say you overpaid.
Yeah, I was
for it.
gonna say that.
But no, I didn't, because the stuff that I have
exactly.
components that's a lot better than the X, because I have the Ryzen 7 32X and things of that nature. But I'm saying it's in the equivalency. You know what I'm saying? It's better than the X, but it's not by much. And the fact of it is that.
But you play on your X more, probably.
But I play
right?
on my Xbox more.
Because you're a console gamer. You're a console gamer.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah. But again, it's like I'm still. You know, when I do play my PC games, I still have. I mean, I know I got my QLED, but I still don't. I don't have a 4K monitor yet. I still got to get that, and that 4K monitor is going to cost. You know what I'm saying, around the same amount of what the PS5 and what the Series X is going to be, or maybe $100 cheaper. Come on, man. When I bought that Ryzen 7 32X, it cost the same price as the Pro.
You know what, guys?
I would have rather gone out and bought a Pro.
That was a chip.
All right, check this out, guys.
Ain't
check this out.
No money like that.
A. Lopez, which is a major supporter of all our podcasts and the stuff we talk about, us on Twitter and stuff. He's like, why are we even acknowledging the guy in the chat with this topic? And you know what? He's right. He's right. But, you know, every once in a while, you got to throw it back out there that there is common sense in the world.
Sometimes you gotta respond to the chat, because it's kind of our duty to do that.
Yeah.
You know, to be like, to be interactive with the chat. That's why we do it.
Yeah, definitely. So, on that note, I think K Mega was about to share his thoughts on this whole PS5 launch. I want to say, I don't necessarily think this is true. I will say Sony does have a track record of doing this, though, of not really having a first-party launch lineup. I remember back in the beginning of 2013, people thought that Wizard tech demo was going to be a game that they showed when they kind of like unveiled the PlayStation 4 and everything like that. I will say, I think that they are going to have ports to Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us 2. And they're going to be like, well, guess what? If you want it with like all the new bells and whistles and stuff like that, you're going to get them again for the PS5. But K-Mega, what do you think about this? Do you think there's any truth behind this rumor? And if so, what does it mean for the PlayStation 5 launch lineup and the next generation as a whole kicking off, man?
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it wholeheartedly. This is why. It's because last generation, PlayStation, their main strategy was to play off of the weak messaging and everything else. We already know the story about what happened this gen, because the gen is not over. Xbox had the games, but Xbox didn't have the power. PlayStation didn't have a great lineup. They had, out of the 28 games, they had 7 games that were theirs. And then you had, out of that 7, you had Killzone, you had Resogun. They had a port of
Knack.
You had Knack, you had Injustice, Gods Among Us. You know what I'm saying? Those games didn't gravitate to anybody, right? You would if you looked at the lineup of what Xbox gave and what PlayStation gave, people would be like, man, a new Killer Instinct, this Rise looking game, man, come on. But it was $100 cheaper. Sony is going to go the same route, and they're going to try to come out with a console that's going to be $100 cheaper. And so they're going to be they're more worried about trying to get those PlayStation 5s off the shelf than trying to blow people away with a whole bunch of launch titles, which people like I have. There's no doubt. Listen, y'all can come in there and throw all the L's you want to. If Horizon Zero Dawn is a launch title, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is a launch title. I don't see that.
I'll be first in line, brother. I just want to let you know.
What I do see is Street Fighter 6. I see another I see the actual GT racer
7?
to compete against GT7 to compete against Forza, and
Street Fighter's already been said to be multi-plat. Just telling you.
Well, it might be. Who knows? I don't know. But I mean, I'm sure they'll have exclusive rights. So for a little while or whatever. But regardless, I don't know. But I know Street Fighter will probably be one of those games that they'll show, and then they'll have some ports, and they'll probably have, and they'll definitely have, and they'll do what Bot was saying is where they'll throw in the multiplayer, most likely with The Last of Us 2, and they'll do an enhanced
that's gonna be
version
a separate
of this.
game, man. We got to bet on that, brother.
Okay, yeah, and it'll be a separate game, whatever the case may be, whatever. But it also they'll have they'll also do the Ghost of Tsushima. But I think what they'll try to do is try to show their version of backwards compatibility and their new Evolve thing with PS Now. And then they'll say, look at these games. These games are hot, and they'll have some third party games that will probably be they'll have some marketing behind it. But I don't see a slate of, like, I got people saying God of War, another God of War. They're gonna throw
Spider-Man,
Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, Sunset Overdrive. I've seen all the
Remember
GT7.
Another.
Just throw the kitchen sink and all, and you know what I'm saying. And listen, and that's why I say it just doesn't make sense to me why you would throw all those games out there, because what you would do, think about this for a second. You got GT8 or 7, then you have, let's say, Street Fighter, and then you'll have Horizon Zero Dawn 2. You're eating they would be eating themselves right here. They would be killing themselves on sales because people have to pick and choose. They don't have Game Pass. And if they did put those games on PlayStation Now, they said that they weren't going to do day and date. So come on, think about this. They cannot throw out all these. They can't throw out Godfall.
Well, they would strangle. Well, K Mega, they would.
Wait. Let me finish. They ain't going to throw out Godfall and then have Horizon Zero Dawn 2 right there when they know Horizon Zero Dawn will mop the floor with that game. What would be the point of having the marketing deal with them? So they're going to give some games that kind of like will be wavy. They'll have something. I think I think GT is going to be a beast. I really do. I think GT7 is going to be very impressive. But they can't have the God of Wars, Horizon Zero Dawns all coming out at the same damn time, because then I know that PlayStation have a huge lineup of games, but what are they going to be competing with when Microsoft got 15 studios that's making multiple games at one, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to be having shit just waving. Yeah, exactly. And games are going to be on Game Pass day and day and on PC as well. Come on. Yeah, think rationally, guys.
The thing is, if all their first-party development teams come out with a game at the launch, then you're looking at like a anywhere between a 3 to at most 5 year drought of first-party games coming out on the PlayStation after that. They'll never put them all out at once. They'll stagger them out.
No, they'll stagger them out.
They won't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Horizon Zero Dawn, that's too big of a game. That game is a part of that pedigree now. That is not going to be a launch title. If I'm wrong, like I said,
that would be a Breath of the Wild moment.
It would be huge for them. It would be huge for them, and that would be the game that would compete against Halo. So it could happen. But I just don't see it. I just don't see that game coming out as a launch title, because then let's say that they do what Bot said. They're going to just have a standalone multiplayer game. Where do you think the gamers are going to go? Do you think gamers are going to go with The Last of Us multiplayer, or they're going to go to Horizon Zero Dawn? Which one? They don't have the luxury of having Game Pass, the PS Now like Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? Or unless they would present that at their launch show of the PS5 of PS Now actually going to do the same thing as Game Pass, and you know what I'm saying. And then there's going to be a whole bunch of PlayStation stands out there that's probably going to jump out of buildings. So that's not going to happen. I just don't see that. So listen, pump the brakes. PlayStation has got a strategy. I know that they're going to come out with some kind of banger or bangers, but it's not going to be the games that we just played just 2 years ago. It's just, I don't see that. Those games are going to be staggered down because they're going to have to compete with other big games that Microsoft is going to be playing. They know Microsoft is not playing this time. They know that.
Well, just in
So-
general
So
business,
the
like,
launch is good. They want to kill Microsoft by having by bringing in a cheaper price and having a great message, because PlayStation is going to have a great message behind them, and they're going to and look, if GT ain't going to get people hype, Street Fighter 6 ain't going to get people hype. You know what I'm saying? And then whatever that secret
they
game,
need something
I don't
that's
know.
going to combat Halo, though. They do need something that's going to combat Halo, because Halo's going to be huge, man. You know how
Halo's gonna be
Halo is.
huge.
It's a huge game.
Yeah, I know. That's why I
It's
agree
a
with
huge
Crispy.
game.
With Crispy, like I said this when they gave the date of The Last of Us, like that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you put that game out, that and Ghost of Tsushima, out in 2020 when you already have
they're
a
going to
year
try to double
exclusive?
dip, brother. They're going to double dip in
Yeah,
record
but
time.
here's the problem
I
with
know
that.
that.
Here's
I know
the
that.
problem with what you just said, K Mega. Is the fact is that are you not like forwards compatible? Like you could literally take Gears 5 and make it look way better on the Series X because they've already developed it that way. You know what I'm saying? So are they not like looking to the PC part, even though they're porting their games to PC?
Oh
That's the problem.
Yeah, no,
that's
they're
the problem
definitely-
I see.
It's going to happen. They're going to start sending those games over there to PC pretty. I can't say pretty soon, but it will eventually happen.
But PC, like we can look at it, you could have a shit PC and still play the same game that has somebody has like a $5,000 PC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what Xbox did. What 2-3 years ago? We're done with this. You know,
I know, but I just think people need to be thinking a little bit more realistic. PlayStation really doesn't have to go all balls out. They won the generation. They have the momentum. It's Xbox that got to swing for the fences and
but
pull
this
those
is
people
arrogant.
back.
this
All
is
they got to
arrogant.
do, all they got to do is throw a couple of bangers that look really good, and give a lower price, and then say, Microsoft, the ball is in your court. And that to me is why I say
Price
that they
point.
could do it. They could do another Infamous Second Son or Third Son, whatever the hell they call it. They could do.
You
Hey, real quick, did everybody go on this topic already?
Oh no, you go
I
ahead.
don't-
You go
I don't-
ahead.
No, I know
I'm
Predator.
asking because I gotta run and pick my daughter up, so I was gonna let the next person go before I came back.
Oh,
I'll be
okay,
around for like
okay.
5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Oh,
Right,
well,
well-
okay.
Well,
I was
I
gonna
do
say,
have.
you know,
Hold on,
with-
real quick. I have a
Okay.
super chat, just real quick. Shout out to Lucifer again, hitting up that super chat, showing love and support for the show and the channel. He said, "What would happen if the new console ran Windows 10 for the Xbox operating system?" And what he's saying is a full Windows 10. We know, you know, they're running. I don't see that happening, brother.
I mean, the Series X does look like a PC tower, doesn't it?
It does, but like, dude, having like the bar on the bottom and everything. No, nah, that's not.
Yeah,
gonna
so
happen.
yeah, it would look weird. It wouldn't.
Yeah, no,
I don't
that
think it-
wouldn't.
I
That
don't
wouldn't
think
jive.
it would work.
That would
But from what K Mega was saying, you know, like they're gonna come out at a cheaper price. I don't think that's necessarily going to be
I'll be right back.
the
guys.
case this time.
All right, Pred.
Okay. I think the case this time is going to be they're going to be very neck and neck with the pricing on both of those consoles. I don't think Xbox is going to come out and swing for the fences and be like, we're going to be $100 more. I cannot see them doing that, because for the simple fact that if PlayStation 5 is cheaper and it has, you know, some pretty good launch title games, I see a lot of
Dark,
people.
it's all
going
about the games,
to
Dark.
that.
It's all about the
But
games, man.
But that's the thing.
at the beginning was all about that
For us,
power.
yes.
And
For
then it is
us,
about the games
yes.
now. So
For us, it's about the games. Yes. Well, especially for me, it's about the games. But it's also about pricing too. And I can't see Xbox being like, we're going to be $500, and then PlayStation being like, well, we're going to be $400. So, you know, who are you going to go with? People are more than likely going to go with the one that's cheaper. And
Dude, did you skip topics or something?
I see
man?
them being.
yeah, he did. He's making his own topic.
No, he wrote off what I just said. I'm just saying, Satan's in the house, baby.
Did he say that? I didn't even hear you.
Oh, Ooh, shots fired.
My bad.
Shots
No,
fired.
no,
No,
that
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
It wasn't a diss. I didn't even hear him. I didn't even hear him.
I don't know. You're Mike cutting in and out, even in your head.
Damn.
No, I had to back out. I had to back out a couple times because
You sound a
the
lot
internet
better
was
now, brother.
going
I'll
crazy.
let you know. You sound a lot better now.
I think it was Pred's fault, but
Oh, damn. That Texas connection right there.
yeah, that Texas connection.
He's just
but-
upset about the Cowboys, and he's trying
Yeah,
to
I just-
trying to squash your voice, man.
I don't understand where people are coming from. Where they're like, oh well, PlayStation is going to be cheaper than Xbox. I think they're going to be neck and neck.
If these,
And
the reason why I say that is because everybody has been pretty much confirming, which, like I said, I don't know. I'm just going by what everybody else is saying on this about the whole T-flops, pterodactyls, transsexuals, whatever the hell you want to call them.
Wow, brother.
I don't know.
No, you went in left field somewhere.
Because to me the whole T-flop shit is left field to me. I understand it's interesting for
it
some
is.
people,
It's left field.
Floating point operations,
but
man.
nobody ever talked about this shit, and really a lot of us people don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? But they want to talk about it like they know.
It's because
But
social media is more prevalent now than it has been.
I know.
When
But
it first started.
regardless of that, if this true from what people have confirmed, and there's been a lot of people that the PlayStation 5 is going to be 9.2 T-flops, and then the and the Xbox is going to be 12 T-flops. Obviously, with that type of power, and then everything else that they've showed with the memory and all of that, the gaps between that, then that's going to be a more powerful system. And now, Centurion said last night, and also in the crew from GRG was over here saying, look, it's going to be competitive. I think that, look, this whole thing about the Lockhart, whatever that could be,
There you go.
If that's a like what 100 and 100 alluded to, which was pretty interesting, is that the Lockhart is nothing more but a revamped X, which they just changed the chipset and they customized
I
it.
already said that, Jesus.
I think
Damn.
And so,
all digital
100
console.
was saying that.
I don't think it'll have a disc. I don't think it'll have a disc.
and it won't have a disk drive. That's
No,
what 100 said.
all
Both
they
things.
said is they had to upgrade the CPU of the X.
Yeah.
Okay, it already has 6 T-flops.
Mhm.
All right, and it's selling at $349
Mhm.
with the Pro at $349, which is clearly at a disadvantage to begin with. And the only thing Sony's
What's up,
riding
Jesse?
on is the fact that they have the mind share. So in the end, you can sit here and tell me that all if you have to upgrade one component of the X, I guarantee the Lockhart's going to look damn like the X. I'm just saying.
Yo,
Yeah.
shout out to Rain G4.
Yeah, shout out to Rain.
Yo, he just had a birthday. Everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel,
Happy birthday, man.
happy birthday to Rain, yo.
Happy birthday, Rain. Woo. I already said it on
But
Twitter.
yeah, anyway, for real, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Look, I mean, just because I said transsexuals doesn't mean I don't have no problem with transsexuals.
You said it again
So-
3 times,
You
actually,
can't-
now.
You can't say that nowadays, Mega. You can't say that.
You
know
can't say
that.
transsexual. They call themselves transsexual.
I know, but you can't. You
You
can't say
can't
things
say
I
like
didn't say
that.
it in a negative
You
light. I
can't
just
say
said why
That is
I
true, I
can't say it.
can't.
By being a
I can't say it. I didn't say nothing
Cannot
negative about those people.
You can't say those things, man. Come on now.
Oh, come on.
no.
Get out of here, man. Come on. I didn't say nothing wrong about transsexuals. I was just saying people talking about T's.
But
and I'm
you
just
know
throwing
somebody's
T
gonna
words
come
up
up.
there.
You're gonna be like, he said something about transsexuals.
Well, just real
That's
quick.
real
Real quick, guys, just real
Without-
quick. When it
Pardon
comes to what K Mega said about the Lockhart, there's a lot of people talking price point right now. All right, and for the people who are looking at their wallet, just think about this. The Lockhart comes out. Yeah, granted, it's not as powerful as the PlayStation 5 or the Series X, but it is a cheaper introductory to get into next gen, and with Game Pass, you still don't have to buy the games, all right? You're going to get a couple months free when you get the system via a card inside the box that you're going to be able to play the first-party launch lineup from Xbox, and all you have to do at that point in time is just pay for the money of the lower introductory level price console going in to the next generation. Like, people are saying how PS4 is going to dominate because of price, and I'm like, well, if people are really watching their wallets like that, An entry-level Lockhart or Series S, as a lot of people are calling it, you know, that comes into play. Yeah, it's not as powerful, but you can play all the games. It has the improved CPU, and you don't have to buy the games right off the bat, and you can still play the Halo Infinite, the Forza Motorsport, and whatever first-party games come out.
It'll be 4K 30 instead
That's
of 4K
a huge
60.
deal right there for
Right,
people who are
1440p,
watching their
yeah.
wallet, man.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. Like, look, there's a whole bunch of possibilities that could happen. I mean, there was a conversation saying that, look, there was no Lockhart, and that Lockhart is probably xCloud or something of that nature. Who knows? But it when it comes down to the launch of, because that's what we got to roll back to it. I'm just sounding like GRG now. I like this. Good job, guys. Going back to the launch title.
Yo, hold on. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. We have hit 200 people watching right now.
Woo!
Thank you guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Share this out. Let's see how far we can go tonight, people.
You know that went up when K Mega started talking. So
here we go.
Anyway, so
What happened?
okay, but now the thing of it is with this is that the launch title for PlayStation, I don't see it's going to be good, but it's not going to be a bang. It's not going to be just hit and miss. I just don't see it. Like I said, I'll take the L's. I just feel that PlayStation strategy is going.
I feel like K Mega is going to take a lot of L's next generation.
Okay, for instance, if they show second, say third son, infamous third son, or okay, now I'll tell you this:
third son,
infamous third son. I mean, it's the second son,
not the first son.
Infamous 3.
What happened to the
I don't know
first
what
son?
the infamous was. Infamous was the first one. Then you had the other infamous, and then you had infamous second son.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
So
know.
anyway, okay. So the only banger that I can see, that PlayStation that has the possibility to drop instead of Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War and all that crazy mess that people are saying is Bloodborne 2. Now,
No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all.
Then what else?
They're working on Elden Ring. They're working on Elden Ring right now. That's not going to happen. Miyazaki's not gonna do another Bloodborne and then not have
That
Elden
was a
Ring be the
strategic
next game
move.
come
That
out.
was a strategic move by Xbox right there to have him working on something so
Yeah.
Bloodborne 2 doesn't come out at
Well, that's the
launch.
thing. I don't think he doesn't. He's very much like he wants to make different IPs with that Souls type of combat and
Mhm.
kind
Okay,
of.
why don't they bring back
that kind
Demon
of thing,
Souls?
so.
How about a remade version of Demon Souls?
If anybody does it, it'll be Blue Point. If anybody does it, it'll be Blue Point. I mean, that's the rumor right now.
That is
That's
the
been
rumor.
the biggest rumor.
That's a
That has
pretty
been
big
the-
rumor.
That is pretty big. But they also, a lot of people were thinking maybe it's a remaster of the original God of War as well. That would be big.
Oh, dude.
God of War?
Oh,
That would be hot. That
yo,
would be hot.
hold on. Are you talking back to going and jumping around and creating combos and having like hordes of enemies coming at you? Oh my goodness!
But with the PS5 graphics.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
So
That'd be sick.
I mean, it's really. I mean, I could see Blue Point announcing their next game at E3 this year and saying it's coming to the PS5
Wait.
either
We
launch
need an
or within
announcement.
launch window.
We need an announcement from PlayStation that they're going to be there.
Well, I
Right,
mean, you
which
might
well,
get that.
I'm saying
Well, I'm
Blue Point.
just saying.
Blue Point is different. They're not part of PlayStation. Well, they are part of PlayStation, but they're kind of like, they're kind of like the. They're kind of like that. No, no, they're not that. I was about to say that. I was like, that's not exactly who they are. No, that's not who they are. They make the remakes of their beloved PlayStation titles, and I could see them actually being at
That would
E3.
be amazing.
Maybe not with the iteration of PlayStation being there, because PlayStation hasn't announced it that they're going to be there, and I don't see why they wouldn't be at E3, to be honest, unless they're having their own thing, which would be
Dark,
PSX.
that would give me a reason right there. If that were true, the original God of War,
I'm back.
that would give me a reason to buy a PlayStation 5, dude. I swear.
Yeah,
Oh.
you would flip out. Yeah, it would be insane. I mean, that's kind of a little rumor that I've been hearing, but um, that's that's
Dark, you
hearsay.
got to
You
start
you
sharing
just
your
never
little
know.
rumors a little bit more with us in DMs and
And
stuff
then there's
like
also
that,
a rumor about
Well,
Persona
it would
3
be nice if you
being
put me in the
remade.
DM
So that
spot.
could be
Dude,
that
I'm
could be something.
doing that
So,
after the show, man.
those games would be a lot more under. I think I could see those games more than I could see Horizon Zero Dawn or another God of War coming out as a launch title. I just don't
Right.
see that.
Those
That's what
those
I'm
two
saying.
are not coming because I mean, when Horizon Zero Dawn came out it was 2017, and then God of War came out in 2018. I can see definitely not God of War. Maybe Horizon Zero Dawn,
Don't see it.
but
I could see
you never know.
another type of Uncharted than I would.
Maybe.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
said,
because that was what 2016.
yeah, that would be more understandable to me, but not, you know what I'm saying? Because look, in PlayStation,
But that
has
would
got
be
the,
huge though, because
oh
that
yeah,
would
Uncharted would be
that
cool.
would
Yeah, but
yeah.
what would they do with the of how Uncharted 4 ended?
I don't know. That's a good question because
Well, they
I mean,
would have to
that would
decide
be.
if they're gonna go with
I could see it more being like
Okay, fine,
like
Dark. My bad.
Uncharted. What's it called? The last one, the last Lost Legacy, something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
with the two ladies in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think, and this will be my last question because I know I've been long on here. I've been doing my baby bite, my bloody knuckles impersonation.
He does go a long time, dude.
He does.
He goes longer than Bot though. I'm like
I don't
sitting there,
know.
I'm
Bot
like,
can go
dang,
pretty
buddy.
long, Jack.
Hold on,
Bot
what are
can
you
go
talking
pretty
about,
long.
guys? I
Anyway.
have to like scream to get a word in. What are you talking about, man?
Okay. Anyway,
Tonight you do because we're cutting you off.
we cutting your
You're
ass
done.
off. Shut
Good
up,
thing I
Paul.
got a new mic, man. I'm
Anyway,
saying.
so the PlayStation got to me. This is me. PlayStation needs to bring an old nostalgic banger. God of War would be hot. Don't get me wrong. A remake to the original God of War would be really hot. But I'm talking about something that would be like, damn, I got to get both of these damn consoles in the same month. Jesus. And that has to be something like Legend of Legaia. You know what I'm saying? Legend of Lagoon. Something of that ilk. Something from
a lot of people don't know what those games are, Mega.
Hey,
You got people scratching their heads in the chat like, what?
What game is that?
SOCOM would definitely get people excited for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I you know what I'm saying? Like I always know that Sunsoft is gone, and I've said this game a million times, but I just don't understand why they would not bring back a bloody roar, something of that nature. But we know that they're going to have the marketing rights to some dope ass games coming down the line. But I don't know. You give us some great RPG that could be that rumor from that I heard from last year about Persona 3 is being remade. And then the God of War situation that you just brought up, that's a solid ass lineup with everything else that we said with a Street Fighter and you got Godfall and then whatever else to be third party, and then you got Street Fighter 6. That's a dope ass lineup. I mean, but it ain't but I don't think it's going to be killer as Xbox.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to get you in, man. I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm shutting up now.
Okay.
I was talking when I left. He's talking when I got back.
Well, there was other people talking in between that, but Pred, rumors, and I know, like, I can swear you wanted to jump in on this last night, but man, like, so many people had so many opinions on it. So, PS5 launch lineup, possibly first party is not ready for that. What do you think? What does that mean to you and for next generation? The jump off to the next generation, man.
I think if they come at a lower price console, that right there will sell the system anyway. But you got a lot of people who already have PlayStations that are gonna, stay with PlayStation. So they have that going in their favor as well. But here's something that like they kind of did last year. I mean, last gen, beginning of this gen. Like they announced a lot of shit, and they were really good at doing this, right? They announced a lot of shit down the pipeline that wasn't coming out. And when they come out at E3 and they come out with this launch or whatever for this next console generation coming out, it would not surprise me if they did the exact same thing. Talked about games like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and not put dates to it, and like push that shit out like 2, 3, 4 years and just have it at every fucking E3 like they did this generation because it worked. it worked. I mean, let's be real.
That
It worked.
okey doke almost,
Yeah,
man.
like, oh, we got this coming, we got that. I mean, like a lot of people, they don't
Mhm.
know when it's coming because they ain't gonna say when it's coming. So they're gonna look on a box, they're gonna see, God of War 19 and fucking, Little Big Planet 8 and shit like that on the box during holiday 2020, and they're gonna think those games are coming like right now. And you'll
Yep.
see it at E3 2021. You'll see it at E3 2022, and then maybe in 2023 they'll release those games because they're gonna keep pushing.
No,
them
that's
back.
when you
So,
get
like,
the official trailer in 2023,
right.
and then it comes out in 2025. Like,
So honestly, and I know, I think I kind of caught the tail end of somebody was saying something about like doing the remastered thing again, the forward compatibility. I think they need to do that. The forward compatibility part of it, like all your games from this generation should carry over to the next generation, even if it's, I can even see them doing a slow play.
well,
Like, okay, a
PS4
Blockbuster
is
gonna
going to
come.
be fully backwards compatible. Like, when it comes down to it, the PS5 is going to be able to play all PS4 games. I think that's an absolute no-brainer that
I think that's a
everybody can
standard,
agree on.
right? It should be a standard, right?
Yeah.
And even if they do that and they do like a slow play like Microsoft did at some point where they kind of, okay, this was coming, that was coming, this was coming. So like their first party exclusives needs to go. They need to go for compatible. And I know I was trying to say back compat. But keep in mind, like when Microsoft did it this generation, there was a lot of legwork that had to happen like behind the scenes too. So if that legwork hasn't started now, then they're going to be a little late to the game when it comes time for launch, like just licenses and stuff like that. So um, I don't think that rumor's true. I think maybe they have something. I mean, they're not just going to launch with what's that game?
Godfall.
Godfall. You think Greedfall? They're not just going to launch with Godfall. They got to have something else in the works too. Because even like right now, I still think at some point in time, Godfall will end up on Xbox some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't.
I think Godfall might be a free to play with microtransactions in it, man. I'm sorry.
It might be. You might be actually right because I mean the graphics wise, it didn't look. They didn't really show us much. It was just a trailer. It was just that was it. That's all we got.
Hey, you had your turn to talk.
No, I was just
No,
agreeing with it.
Stop talking.
My
Stop.
bad.
He can agree
Sorry.
with me whenever he wants, Fred.
I'm just fucking with him. But yeah, I mean,
No, I know.
I honestly don't think that they're just gonna launch with that. They got something up their sleeve, whether it's announcing shit early, super early, or just some games we never heard of, where they're like fucking smaller indie titles that people may get interested in. There's something there. I really don't think they're gonna launch this console and like I think one of you guys was saying, going up against Halo 5, Halo 6, whatever, and not have something to combat that. They gotta have something. That would just be a fail on their part to come with a weaker. I mean, it sounds like Microsoft come with a weaker console with a shitty launch and a shitty launch lineup. I don't see it happening.
All right, brother.
Well, one more thing I want to iterate to some of these people in the chat because I keep seeing them saying, oh, PlayStation's not going to have a launch.
I thought you were going to say the
Xbox
Alan
is not
Wake
gonna
2
have-
one. I thought you were
No,
going to say
no.
Portal has
Microsoft's
been
not gonna-
drilling that in the chat.
No, I see it. I seen it, but I'm not gonna address him. Okay, I'm not gonna address you, but I'm gonna address the whole. PlayStation's not gonna have a launch lineup. Xbox is not gonna have a launch lineup. They're both gonna have a launch lineup because you know why? Exclusives sell the console at launch. That is exactly why
That's
people
why
buy
Halo
the
Infinite's
console.
coming out at launch, man.
That's why exactly people buy the console at launch. Yeah, granted, throughout the years, it's great to have exclusives for it. Especially when the PS4 was around, when the PS4 has been out, it was great to have those exclusives. But at launch, the biggest thing is to have the games that you can't get on the other console because
We didn't even
then
talk
it
about
drives you
third-party
to
deals
buy
they're
it.
gonna have either.
Right, exactly.
That's another
And
part
I'm
of
sure,
it too. Yeah,
I'm sure Microsoft has some third-party deals. I'm sure they do. They're not saying it because they don't want a repeat of Rise of the Tomb Raider again. But I'm sure they got something.
Dude, when it came to if they ever have something that's close to Rise of the Tomb Raider, I give a little bit of advice to Xbox. Don't fold under pressure to the journalists.
Yeah.
Just be like, this is where it is now, and that's that. Like, you know, if it ever comes down to it, but they folded last time and it got all crazy. Just stick to your guns. Do, you know, in that.
Well, it's funny because I think when they folded, it made people even more mad.
Yeah. Yeah, in that note, I mean, because
Like, what?
Sony has done the same thing, but they stuck to their guns, and they're like, this is where you can play it, and that's pretty much that. You know what I'm saying? And,
So what I'll take a page from Xbox. Xbox is always screwed up with these things. Imagine if at E3 they said Hellblade 2 is a launch title, and he only said that because he had to.
what happened?
If Hellblade 2 was a launch title, because the reaction that people got, you start just throwing money at Ninja Theory and saying, you get all these devs, Coalition isn't really working on anything, Gears Tactics is done.
You know
what I mean? You just start throwing devs, like people are like, we love Xbox or whatever, that have either come in or have just, you know, been there, and you just start throwing like serious devs at there, and you don't know about it because Xbox is not going to sit there and be like, oh, we have this person working on this and that. You know, Ninja Theory could all of a sudden have like a shit ton of people just walk into the room, and Phil will be like, this is what's happening. We're getting this game done. Snap of the fingers.
You know,
that would be cool. That would be interesting.
Crispy, I absolutely love your enthusiasm, but at the end of the day, even with a huge number of people on the development, it still takes time for those things to get done and to get done properly, and I would not want them to rush out this sequel just to be ready for launch. I would rather have them get exactly what they want done with the game.
Because let's face it, Hellblade 1's combat was not good.
Dude, I tried to say that, and people are like, no, it's deeper than you think, man. It's deeper.
It's not. It's really not.
But, with what I saw from the trailer for Hellblade 2, with it looks like she's raising an army of the dead, which, of course, could be in her mind. You see little things like when they showed the landscape and how big it was, what they're trying to show is that the game is going to be bigger than the previous one. Like, it's going to be more expansive and stuff like that. And I think, Dark, you can kind of like you can chime in on this as well. When they do teasers to either movies or video games, they always put in little subconscious things about what the movie or the game's going to be about.
Well, they also put in a lot of stuff that doesn't actually end up in the game or the movie.
Yeah, because they're using it like a metaphor almost.
Yeah, they're using it as like, oh, this is what's, especially Marvel. Marvel has been doing it a ton. They do it with every trailer they come out with. They put a lot of scenes in their trailers that aren't even in the movie, and then people are like, "Where was that scene?" You know, and then they watch the movie and they're like, "Oh, that scene wasn't even in the movie." Okay, so I mean, they do things to deter you from knowing exactly what's going to happen.
Well, and with that being said, Dark, like at the very end of the Hellblade 2 teaser trailer, that white kind of like symbol that was behind the name, that is a Norse compass. So a compass is another thing that shows travel, traversal, openness, kind of like.
I think it'll be more of an open world type of game.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well, man.
It's not going to be AA again. It'll be probably AAA.
Oh no, like Microsoft opened up their wallets for that game, and it's good because like as somebody said last night on Crossfire, it's actually good that they made it a Hellblade sequel because it was something that people can connect to. If it was,
but you also notice that it's not Hellblade 2. It's Hellblade Senua's Saga.
Yeah, and a saga is a story that stretches across iterations. Like
exactly.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like I'm excited. I want to see what they're doing with that. But guys, we are over the time. We are actually almost at 9:30. So does anybody have any last moment kind of like ideas, opinions, anything that they want to say before we wind this sucker down? Anybody on the panel?
No, only thing I just wanted to say was with the Senua's saga is because how Hellblade 1 ended. It's she got out of her torment, and so therefore it's her story now. It's not her fighting for someone else.
Right, exactly.
Nice.
But well, never mind.
But yeah, okay.
But yeah,
I didn't want to say it because I knew Prev was gonna be like, "You damn it, we gotta go."
I would say, guys, we can continue this conversation over on Xbox Live. Okay, it doesn't have to end here with the show. So, on that note, guys, again, huge shout out to everybody coming in and checking out the show live. Thank you guys so much. Definitely appreciate the support. Definitely had a few subscribers to the channel as well tonight. Huge shout out to anybody who has subscribed as well. If you haven't done it yet, now would be a great time to subscribe. We are going in on the next generation. There are rumors, there is leaked documents going on. There are things to talk about moving up to the release of the PlayStation 5 and the Series X. So I think you would want to tune into this channel and hear exactly what we got to say about that. But we're winding down the show, and like a 40-year-old with a comb over, we gotta get those plugs in. Shout out to O Snaps. I think about her every time I say that. Let's start with my West Coast brother, the Angry Otter himself, Dark Optimus. Dude, it is always a blast to have you on. You got a little quiet from the beginning to the middle of the show, and I forgot you were here. Dude, you got to speak up a little bit more. You got to speak up.
No, I was actually eating at the time. And I didn't want to interrupt anybody. So
that's what I love about the next podcast panel. K-Mega's playing games.
Dude, I'm not gonna...
All right, here's the deal.
Yeah.
K-Mega's playing games. We got Predator checking Wall Street, and we have Dark Optimus eating a sandwich. Crispy is kicking back a couple drinks. All while podcasting.
And sitting on people's shoulder.
Yo, no. But Dark, again, it is always a blast to have you on. You know there's an open door for you on this show every single Saturday. Why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you to talk games, and if you have anything else you want to announce, man?
Yeah, definitely. You guys can find me on Twitter, Xbox, PlayStation at Dark Optimus. I don't think there's anything I want to announce as of right now, but I mean there will be some stuff maybe down the pipeline that I might want to announce. So I'll come back on here and announce them.
Oh, nice. So we get exclusive rights to your announcements, and
yes,
that's what
you get exclusive rights
there
to
we
my
go.
announcements. Yeah,
that's all I ask.
If I'm on Crossfire, he'll get
nothing.
Don't get crap.
Oh.
He gets nothing.
Well, lately he hasn't gotten crap. Crap hasn't been on.
That is true. He hasn't gotten.
Oh man, but it's always fun, brother, and I can't wait till next time, man.
For sure, man.
All right. On that note, let's go to the man who just wants to get done with the show so he can get back to his military shooters. My brother Pred. First off, how do you feel about the Cowboys? And then you know the deal in terms of the sign off, man. Let people know where they can go to talk games with you, brother.
You went there. I'm not even gonna discuss the Cowboys.
Damn boys.
How about them boys? Oh no.
Hey, only one team's gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Yo, Pred, I waited till the end of the show, man.
Chiefs? What?
So, I'm gonna leave that alone. Anyway, next podcast next week. Fuck y'all.
Yeah. Nice. And Crispy, a major Chiefs fan as well. So, he's been living on cloud 9 lately. Crispy, I know you stream on Mixer. I think you would like to tell people about that. I would hope you would like to tell people about that. And, of course, where they can go to talk games with you, brother.
Oh, absolutely, dude. It has been a pleasure, as always. I mean, Optimus, I think I was on one other time with you, and it's awesome talking games with you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and,
man.
At Crispy Bomb on Twitter, Crispy Bomb 28, Mixer, Xbox Live, hit me up. Like, I'm not afraid. I'll play any game. Like, you got Game Pass. Let's play some games. Let's do it.
We gotta get back in on Mortal Kombat, by the way, man. Like, I saw you,
we gotta get Crispy Bomb to play more games and beat more games throughout the year. That's what
I don't care about.
What are you talking? He beat 5 games already, man.
I have to.
5 games is not enough, Crispy.
I have to enjoy the game enough to beat it. And I'll probably beat more games this year than last year, just because I've already
I can see
gotten
that.
halfway
I can see
through them. So, it's going to be fun. And, Game Pass is great to me. Like it $10 a month, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I don't have to spend $60. And in the end, you got to find us on Retro Renegades with the graphic god, okay, who does graphics for so many people. XboxGamerPicks.com. The guy is amazing. He did my graphic, and he did it in like an hour. So
wow.
I'm just telling you, like literally, I became part of Retro Renegades, and he gave me this as a token of his appreciation for me being a part. So this, if you pay the money, he's going to do a great gamer pick for you. And that's something that I can't say enough. He's done graphics.
Crispy, he made one of my most iconic logos to date with the Xbox certified, and it had Master Chief with his thumbs up in the middle of the logo. Yo, he does great work.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, come check us out Tuesday, 7 p.m. Let's do this. Like, positive gaming. Like, let's talk about games. Like,
God dang.
What, Dark?
The Sekiro King Cypher just like, that dude sounds like he's buzzed.
No, he is the Marlboro man of the gaming community. Let's get it right, people.
He's Satan on your shoulder, damn it.
yeah, you got it right, baby.
Oh, yo, Mega, I did not know it was gonna go so left field, man. But do you think you can back this up with, we all know what you're doing with GRG. It's one of the fastest growing gaming podcasts out there right now. You guys are off the chain. Of course, it's on Friday, but I think you'll probably be able to say it better than me. And of course, let them know about your YouTube channel and where they can go to find to talk games with you, brother.
Yeah, if I didn't sit there and give Mooch the damn early slot, man, I might be doing better. But anyway, no, I Crossfire was Fridays, and Mooch, came to me and asked me. He's like, "Hey, Mega, I know you doing GRG. Is it cool that we can get back to that same slot?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, bro. I got you. We'll go and do it later."
Yo, Mega.
So,
yeah. For people who don't know, me and Mega's basically the co-founder of the show. Me and him were going back and forth. We planned this whole show out. Mega, do you remember when I was like, man, I want to go on exactly when Weapon Wheel Podcast was going on?
And I told you, are you a damn fool?
Dude, now, if you look back at hindsight, dude, we could have done it, bro. We could have done it.
We could have, but...
Yeah, you would have gotten.
Yeah, we been sitting here with 22 people and been.
This is a hidden gem in the YouTube community. This podcast is a hidden gem.
Yes. I'm glad that you acknowledged that you listened to me and we moved it to this time.
I'm glad he acknowledged that it's hidden.
Yes, it is a hidden gem. But you know what I'm saying? Hidden 200, that's not hidden. That's good work, man. But anyway, you've been doing a great job, Bot. And everybody and all the panel and everybody, you know what I'm saying? Y'all do it, man. Y'all do the damn thing. But check out the GRG podcast every Friday night, 8:30. Just until a band of characters, man. We're looking for more people to come onto the show and be guests. And so, if you guys are interested, you can check me out on Twitter at KMega4. It doesn't matter what you enjoy, what you love the most. If it's PlayStation, PC, we just want to talk about games.
You should get Randolph Thor on, man.
Still waiting for that invite, K-Meg.
I know, and I got to bring Otter on.
I'm still waiting for mine, and he keeps telling me, I'll hit you up.
Well, because sometimes I get so busy, and then I get caught up in doing stuff, and so then I'm like,
You're waiting
shit,
for outro to end.
The time that your podcast is on is perfect for me because I'm already not working at that point. So.
Oh, okay. So then I'll hit you up then. I'll hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up this week. I'm gonna hit you up this week and see if you're available. All right. So shut your ass up, Fred. You know what I'm saying? Yo, lousy ass damn Cowboys can't even sit there and win that damn lousy ass division. At least the Rams went positive with 9-7, bastard, in the best division in football. Ram Nation, baby, stand up.
Sports.
They made playoffs.
I believe I was the best division last year. Just saying.
Do you still got your coach? We went to the Super Bowl. Where'd y'all go? Shut your ass up. Get out of here.
They went head
Get out
coach
of here.
Did we beat
shopping.
y'all this year? Did we beat the brakes off y'all motherfuckers
Good
this year?
night.
Pat Mahomes about to get a $300 million contract.
Y'all want
We
y'all want
gave y'all the L to
to
probably put you out the playoffs.
Hey, y'all try to go ahead and get Lincoln Riley. It was the Baltimore, it wasn't y'all's ass.
Yeah, all right,
We still had a
all right.
chance.
Nobody's calling in my ass. I'm saying.
Wow.
We're left. We're done.
Yeah, we're left. We're definitely in left field right now.
Thank you.
Yo,
Oh, and the Devin
I
Gamer
thought
will be
Mega
doing
was supposed
something
to bring it
sometime.
back.
And
He
I'm streaming. Check me out on
He
Mitchell.
didn't.
I'll be streaming something tonight. I've been playing Monster Hunter with Bloody. I played Monster Hunter when it first came out. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. Played for about 10 hours, and then I said, "Fuck it, shut up." And then Bloody has helped train me, and now I am a monster killer.
Nobody cares.
oh,
Come check me out. K Mega /405. Oh well, _405 on
so
Mixer
Bloody's made
tonight.
you a nerd then. Okay.
You gotta get your shit right, bro.
Yes.
all right, guys. And on that note, I will say I am deep into development of season 3 for next podcast. It's gonna have a new look, everything. It's gonna be nice and shiny, all that good stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. We are here every Saturday at 7 p.m. Again, the chat is just as much a part of this show as everybody on the panel is. The chat is there when people go and check out the show after it's live and stuff like that. So huge shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And I am going to end the show the way I do every week. We will see you next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Laters.
The Cowboys.
That sounds so nasty.
New coach.
I know. Fred always makes it
Playoffs.
sound